A very good evening to all of you. Now we are starting. My name is Swapnil Patil. That we are starting the current affairs part 2. In last week we have studied regarding the part 1 of the current affairs, in which we have covered the May, June and July current affairs. Now for this lecture we are studying the questions from the current affairs from August, September, October. Obviously the year is the 2024. For UPSC we are targeting for the UPSC Prelims that is going to happen on 25th May 2025. That we are taking those very important questions which are having the high bearing potential to come up in this upcoming UPSC Prelims examination. So let's start from the first question. That is, before starting, we are going to conduct the sessions on the 4 sessions on the current affairs. The first session on the current affairs which happened last week. Now we are going to start the second session. In the next week, we are going to we will take the discussion on the part 3 of the current affairs, and on the last week of this month, we are going to finish the current affairs, the last session. Before UPSC Prelims, before 1 month, we are going to start the marathon session on the current affairs of the UPSC. Now let's start the first concept of this current affairs topic, the first concept of the global south. Have you heard about the global south concept? What do you mean by the global south? Because why is in the news? 123 countries joined the voice of the global south, and the India with respect to the international relation is leading the group of the global south. Then what do you mean by the global south? Is it a demarcation or the geographical demarcation, or is it the group differentiated on the base of the economy? So let's see the global south. If you see in this diagram, the global south and global north, which is in the pink color, denotes the global north, and yellow color, that is the global south. If you see, this line is based on the economical classification rather than the geographical boundaries. For example, the mostly global north are group of the developed countries, and global south are the developing countries. So, and the line which differentiates between the global north and global south is known as the brand line or brand line. This line is very, very important in the international relation. For the brand line, global north, global south are very, very important from the perspective of the prelims point of view. Then means you can mention this diagram along with the mentioning the term, that is the brand line. So what is the key term? If you see, analyze this diagram, global north and global south, like in the global south, that is global north, we have said that in the global north mainly the countries are composed of the developed countries. So if you see the global north, that the Australia despite being in the southern hemisphere comes in the global north. So we can summarize that global north is a line or the countries which are classified or the grouped as per the economic criteria rather than the geographical boundaries. If you see, can we say that in the global north all countries are developed countries? See, most of the countries are high income countries, while there are exceptions. In the global south also, most of the countries are developing countries. There are the exceptions like the Singapore, if you consider the other countries also. So that's why let's see the questions on this global south, because global south is a very, very important term. Now the India is also voicing for the global south, the leadership of the global south. India is taking in the field of environment, science and technology, vaccine Maitri initiative, digital public infrastructure. India had hosted the G20 summit in the year 2023, and If you see, the G20 now becomes the G21 because the induction of the African Union. India had taken the leadership to include the African Union into the G20. So the India is pioneering or the supporting for the global south, and India has the aspiration for the leadership of the global south, because this global south is supporting India, most of the countries, because in the global south China is also there, Pakistan is also there. In the global south, most of the countries or nations are supporting for the having the permanent membership for the India at the United Nations Security Council. So let's see the question regarding this. The first question regarding the global south. Consider the statements with respect to the global south. If you see, the concept of brand line primarily differentiate countries based on their economic development rather than geographical location. This is a correct statement, because why we have seen rather than economic development rather than geographical location. See, the Australia, despite having the location at the global south, like southern hemisphere, it is considered into the global north. So the classification is primarily based on the economic development. Then all countries in the global south lie entirely in the southern hemisphere. Is it a true or false? Entirely in the southern hemisphere. Again, we have said that we have not categorized the countries with respect to the geographical location. Take as an example of India. India, what is the location? India completely lies in the northern hemisphere, having approximately starting 8 degree north to the 38 degree north or 37 degree around. So India, despite completely lying in the northern hemisphere, India is considered as a part of the global south. So this statement is wrong. Then the G77 was found by developing countries and has expected to include over the 130 nations today. Yes. Why G77? G77 is a mostly group of the developing country or the major part or the prominent part of the global south. That's why we are now the G77, though the name is G77, now the country has the membership of around 130 nations today. So this is a true one. Then the term global north is a synonymous with the western world and includes all high income economies. Is it a true or false? For example, we have seen the countries in the global south like Singapore is in the also not in the global north. So we cannot say that in the global north all high economies countries are considered. So we can say that in the global north major countries are developed or the high economic country with a small portions of the low economic or the developing country also. In the global south we can say that the major countries are the developing country with a small traces of the developed country or the high economic country. So let's summarize global north and global south. Primarily high income, please write down, primarily high income or the developed countries, low income or the middle income or the developing countries. Then small proportion of developing countries and developed countries. Then we can give the example, the global south, Singapore is the prominent example. Yes, is it clear? So this statement is the incorrect one. So out of 4 statements, 2 statements are correct. So the correct option will be the only 2. Those who have the doubt or concern regarding any concept, let me know. We will revise or revisit this concept again. Offline students, directly asked. Online students, you can mention in the chat box, like we will try to redress as soon as possible. Then let's start for the next question regarding the statements regarding the methanotropes or the methane oxidizing bacteria. Again, why we have included this question? Because the government of India, particularly Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change, is concerning about the cultivation of the methanotropes or the methane oxidizing bacteria. Before starting the statement or the solving the question, let's understand that troph means trophosphere, troughs or trophic level means nutrition, and methano, those bacteria who are consuming the methane as a nutrition or their staple diet is a methane. So methane eating bacteria or methane oxidizing bacteria. Now what is the importance of this bacteria which are eating the methane or consuming the or oxidizing methane? Let's understand with respect to the global greenhouse gases, global warming and the climate change. If you see or analyze the statistics, that after the CO2, CH4 is the most most emitter of the greenhouse gas. So that's why the CH4 is important, or CH4 is a contributing to the majorly contributing gas after CO2 for the global warming. That's why the proper the utilization or the proper oxidization or dissipation of the CH4, sequestration of the CH4 is a very, very important. So that's why in the natural resources, the paddy field, then the ruminant animal or cattle are the major emitter of the CH4, or the wetlands also. We are talking about the natural factors or natural sources for the methane. That's why the methane is a very important, or methane oxidizing bacteria, the presence of methane oxide or methanotropes is very, very important for the burning the CH4. So now let's understand the concept. The first statement, methanotropes play a significant role in reducing greenhouse gases by consuming methane from natural and the industrial sources. This is a true one. Methanotropes, those bacteria which are consuming the methane. Obviously methane is consuming, that's why there will be the reduction of the greenhouse gases from the which is having the source from the natural and the industrial resources. So this statement is a correct one. Talking about the second, they can be used in the bioremediation of the contaminated soils or the water bodies. Yes, that is true. Take an example, because if you see in India, in Pune, Maharashtra, in Pune, there is a one site that is the Arai, or it is also known as the Vetal Hills or the Hanuman Hills. Arai stands for the Automotive Research Association of India, where, like, if you see, there is a mined hills in which there is a formation of the wetlands. On those wetlands, on these lakes or ponds, we can find the methanotropes. That's why the major bodies or the Ministry of Environment Forest is doing the research on this Arai hills regarding the methanotropes. So in the particular last year, the Press Information Bureau had circulated the information regarding the methanotropes and this Arai hills. So if you see, those methanotropes are used for the bioremediation. Bioremediation means those are bacteria which are consuming the toxic metals or the toxic elements, and the which are helping for the conservation of the biodiversity. So this is a concept of the bioremediation. Methanotropes are strictly anaerobic bacteria that thrive only in the oxygen deficient environment. If you read the particular the head statement carefully, then you would be getting the general idea that, see, methanodrops in bracket, I deliberately mentioned the news, that is methane oxidizing bacteria. What do you mean by the methane oxidizing bacteria? Oxidizing means there is a presence of the oxygen, or methane is oxidized in the form of or in the presence of oxygen. So that's why they are aerobic also. These are the aerobic bacteria. With the presence of the oxygen, they are oxidizing the methane. That is the presence of oxygen. So this statement would be the wrong one. Then the certain species of methanodrops have the potential to produce single cell protein which can be utilized as the animal feed. Yes, certain species, see, the bacteria might be the aerobic, anaerobic, might be the single cell or the multiple cell. So that's why the fourth statement is the correct one, that is the certain species. Yes, the correct option will be the 1, 2 and 4 only, that is the B. Have you understood the concept regarding the methanodrops or methane oxidizing bacteria? This current affairs second session, we are focusing primarily on the August, September and October month of the year 2024. So we have taken those 60 very important topics which having the potential to come in the actual exam. So main topics we have taken. So we will be getting the idea, like regarding in the while reading in the static also, or which are references book, you will be getting idea, okay, these, like for example last year the central government had announced the 5 languages to be accorded as a classical status. Then you would be getting, like while you are reading any references book, then you may get the idea, okay, we should focus on this topic, like the languages. In 2015, UPSC 2015, the commission had asked the question, like which of the following got the classical status recently. So they have given the action. So in 2014, the Odia language got the classical status. So that question was asked in the 2015. Now after 10 years, we are appearing for the 2025. So they might be asking the questions in a different tone or the different language. So that's why the current affairs topics are important. Let's see this question. The statements regarding the Abraham Accord. We should know what is the Abraham Accord. This is a very important. When the Israel, since the starting of the Israel-Hamas war, there is now the possibility of the ceasefire between the Israel and Hamas also. So from the Israel-Hamas, then Israel-Palestine issue, then Israel-Gulf countries relation, then Israel-UAE relation, Israel-Saudi Arabia relation, Israel-Jordan relation, Israel-Egypt relation. That's why this question is important. We should know at least what do you mean by the Abraham Accord. If you see the first statement, the Abraham Accord was primarily brokered by the United States between Israel and Saudi Arabia to normalize their relation. If you see the Israel Accord, like brokered between the Israel and UAE and Bahrain. I will write over here. Between Israel and UAE plus Bahrain, not Saudi Arabia. Yes, after the UAE and Bahrain, the Saudi Arabia had also started to normalize the relation with respect to the Israel. So this statement is a wrong one. It marked the first public normalization of relations between the Israel and any Arab country over 26 years. If you see, right, regarding the 26 years, for example, 26 years means this Abraham Accord was done in 2020. So 26 years means in 1994, the Israel has done the pact with the Jordan. After 1994, in 2020, there was a Abraham Accord to normalize the relation between the Israel and the some of the Arab countries, and first starting with the UAE and Bahrain, then Saudi Arabia comes into the picture. So second statement is a true one. The name Abraham Accord signifies the common ancestry. See, if you see the like the Abraham is also named as the Ibrahim. So in art and culture, if you study the religions of the world, then Ibrahim is a common patriarch between among the Jews, Muslims and the Christians. So to have the peaceful harmony, or to have the common ancestor, to give the significance or the symbolification to this the peace, they came up with the Ibrahim Accord or the Abraham Accord. So this statement is a correct one. Then fourth one, Bahrain and UAE were the first Arab country to sign the Abraham Accord. So this statement is a correct one. So the first statement and the see, like between first and fourth, like this would be the correct one. Like out of two, the only one of them would be the correct one. So if you know, the UAE and Bahrain had brokered the deal or the signed the pact, normalized the relation between the Israel and the Arab country. Then after the Saudi Arabia followed. So that's why out of four, the three statements are correct. So the answer will be the only three. So do you know the next question? Do you know the concept of the windfall tax? Windfall tax, if you see, there are the repetitive news in the media regarding the government had reduced the windfall tax on the petroleum products or the crude products or the other heavy parts. So regarding the windfall tax is a very, very important concept. Like before starting the windfall tax, see, this is a Press Information Bureau document. If you see this document, like this is a paddy field where the methane emission is a prominent, and this is a, like the presence of the methanotrophs or the methane oxidizing bacteria where the methane is absorbed. So like having the Ministry of Science and Technology Press Information Bureau had come up with the India now have the own natural bank to mitigate the climate change. Like India will have the own methanotrophs or the methane oxidizing bacteria for to tackle the climate change or to tackle the issue of the global warming. So after the methanotrophs, see the diagram. This is the diagram regarding the Abraham Accord. If you see, the UAE and Bahrain in 2020 had the Abraham Pact with the Israel, and before 2020 in 1994 the Jordan had normalized the relation. In 1979, like before 1980s, the Egypt had the normalized the relation, and after the UAE, Bahrain, then Sudan came, then Morocco came, and this is regarding the UAE and Israel relations. So this article was published into the month of the August or September month. That's why we have taken the news. Then see the diagram of windfall tax. Before moving to our questions, let's see these two diagrams. The first one is talking about the news, that is the windfall tax on crude petroleum reduced like something per ton. So what do you mean by the windfall tax? Let's understand the concept that windfall tax is like that tax imposed on the corporations which are having the unexpected gain or the sudden profits. What do you mean by the sudden profits? Suppose the lottery, suppose there is like due to the external stimuli or the external events. For example, there is a, we have procured, or a company had procured the discounted, deep discounted, or due to the geographical events or geopolitical movements, the price of the barrel has dropped down significantly. Let's understand, like from $120 per barrel to the $30 or $40 per barrel. So this is like the windfall, like what we can say the chappar bhadke. So that's why the government imposes the windfall tax to have the, see, for example, what is the aim and objective or purpose to impose or to levy this kind of the taxes? This is a temporary taxes, just to have to reduce the income inequality. Certain segments in the Indian economy will be benefited. So this is a kind of the progressive taxation. Those who are earning more will be imposed more taxes. So this is a kind of the concept or the type of the progressive taxation too, and those taxation, the money in form of the taxation will be redistributed among the lower strata. That is a concept of the distributive justice or the social justice. That money can be used for the social welfare activity also. So this is a concept of the windfall taxes. So windfall taxes, we are seeing the question. Now see this diagram, what we are seeing. This is a kind of the, like a, see, very interesting diagram. This is a kind of the the pictures landscape where we can't differentiate between the sky and the land. See, the this is kind of the clouds come to the ground, and like there is a totally merging of the sky, the clouds, the hills and the flat plains also. So if you see, these are called as the salt plain, flat, large areas of flat salt plain. It is called as the Salar de Uyuni. It is located in the Bolivia. So, like we are solving the question on the Salar de Uyuni, where these are called as the large salt flat plains. So this is a, like having the thousands of hectares. This area has spread into the thousands of hectares. Now let's see the question. First we will be discussing on the windfall tax. Now let's see the question on the windfall tax. The first statement, now you get the idea regarding the windfall tax. The first statement, windfall tax is generally imposed on profits that result from the company's business operations and planned investment strategy. See, is generally imposed on, what we have seen, it is imposed on not on the regular business profit but on the expected sudden profits. So the statement is the incorrect one. It is a progressive tax aimed at reduce in wealth equivalent. Yes, it is a kind of the progressive tax. What do you mean by the progressive tax and what do you mean by the regressive tax? If you see, those who are earning more will be laid more taxation. That is the concept of the progressive taxation. Then in India, windfall tax is frequently imposed on the pharmaceutical industry and automotive manufacturers. True or false? If you see, in India, windfall tax frequently is imposed on the petroleum products or the mining activity, where there is an unexpected or the sudden gain. That's why this statement is the incorrect one. The revenue from the windfall tax can be used by the government for the social justice activity, public welfare activity, or any kind of the, for the stabilizing the inflation. That is also true. So what is the crux or the summary of this concept? Windfall tax is not imposed generally on the business operations of the company, but it is levied or imposed on the companies which gained unexpected or the sudden gain, which are having no control because of the geopolitical instances or event occurring across the world. Then the more the company earning more, the more taxation will be levied in form of windfall tax. Obviously it will be the progressive tax, and the revenue from those windfall tax will be utilized for the welfare, public welfare activity. So out of the 4 statements, 2 statements are correct, that is the 2 and 4. So correct option will be the 2 and 4 only. Then The next question, we have seen the images, that is Salar de Uyuni. Let's read these statements. Obviously answer is in front of you, that is the all four statements are correct. What is the importance of this concept? See, Salar de Uyuni might be coming into the pair format, it will be coming into the one liner, also it might become into like this question, four statements. So if you see, the Salar de Uyuni is located into the Bolivia. Bolivia, what is the importance of Bolivia? If you like analyze the mapping section, it is a very important. In UPSC 2023, the commission had focused on the African continent, where on this in the single paper, the 4 to 5 questions were asked from the African continent and its mapping. So now we are focusing the South America. Now consider, it is a part of the global south also. The first question we have seen, the global south. Then in the South Bolivia, what is the importance? We have seen in our previous lecture in the current affairs that the lithium triangle. What is the lithium triangle concept? Argentina, then Bolivia, and then Chile. These three countries are responsible for world's greater than 50% of the lithium production, and this lithium, and India had signed an agreement with the Argentina for the lithium program, and India also found the deposits of the large deposits of the lithium reserves in the Jammu and Kashmir, that is the Riyasi district. After Jammu and Kashmir, in Rajasthan and small traces of the Karnataka. That's why lithium is known as the white gold. Lithium is the smaller or the lighter element in the modern periodic table. Lithium is the important source for the lithium ion batteries which are used in the mobile or the electrical vehicle. That's why this topic is a very, very important. So if you see, the world's largest reserve Bolivia contains one of the largest lithium reserve, that is true. Salar de Uyuni was found as the evaporation of the prehistoric lakes. If you see, the evaporation activity majorly gives the salty plain, like the sea water evaporation, we can find the deposits of the salt. That's why the second statement is the correct one. Then the nature is like having surrounded by the active volcanoes, contributing to the mineral rich nature of the salt flats. So this statement is the correct one. What is the crux? And let's see, the having the geopolitical resources and battery production in the electrical vehicles, that is a lithium ion battery. What is the key crux of this region? Salar de Uyuni is the largest salt flat, and like having due to the prehistoric lakes, evaporation of the prehistoric lakes, and this region is surrounded by the active volcano which is contributing to the mineral rich resources, and obviously we all know that the lithium is responsible for the lithium ion batteries which are majorly used in our mobile batteries or our electrical vehicles. So for the lithium ion battery, we can see the John Goodenough recently passed away, who got the Nobel Prize in the chemistry in the year 2019. That's why this news is a very, very important. So we have almost, like in the current affairs part 1, which is streamed on the YouTube, you can see the part 1 also on the YouTube. We have covered the each and every aspect. Now in the upcoming weeks, we are also going to study the new concepts, new topics in the part 3 and part 4 of the current affairs, spanning across the different months. For example, this current affairs is focused on the August, September or October. The next part will be focusing on the November, December and January of this year. So out of 4, all 4 are correct. The option will be the all 4. Now, in science and technology paper, in the current affairs paper, we have given the more weightage to the concept of the quantum computing. Then one of the concept of the QNLP, quantum natural language processing. In the upcoming the question in this paper also, we have continuously incorporated 2 questions on the quantum computing, focusing on the terms, and the second question next consecutive section applications. Terms like what do you mean by the entanglement, what do you mean by the superposition, what do you mean by the quantum supremacy. So write down, these are the keywords: superposition, then entanglement, and then quantum supremacy. Then regarding application, what are the applications of the, there are numerous applications, and how is it different from the supercomputing. So is it can be used for the blockchain technology or not, that we are going to see in the application. Now we are focusing on the term, that is the QNLP, quantum natural language processing. Let's understand that this is a homework for you, because we have many times in the current affairs previous also we have focused on the quantum computing, quantum technology, that I would be telling the answer out of this 4. If you like the quantum computing principle like superposition and entanglement process and understand the human language. We have seen the superposition and entanglement. What do you mean by the superposition? Like in the general computer, there is a qubits, the bits 0 and 1, either on or off, not at the simultaneous. But in the superposition, from the 0 to 1, there is a continuous superposition. Like between 0 to 1, like if you see the traditional computing, either 0, either 1, either 0, either 1. So it is moving like this. But in quantum computing, there might be the figure between the 0 and 1 at the simultaneously. So it is talking about the simultaneous process or the multitasking aspects. This is a superposition. What do you mean by the entanglement? Entanglement means having the continuous operation due to the superposition. So that's why it is having the, it can process the human languages or any kind of the data as a far more than with respect to the supercomputer. So the first statement is a correct one. Then the unlike traditional natural process, QNLP process multiple language text and without increasing computational complexity. The statement is itself explanatory for the superposition and the entanglement or the supremacy also. So second statement is a correct one. Then the third one is also correct one. See the quantum concept of quantum circuits. Classical NLP can achieve the same computational speed as the QNLP. Is it a true? QNLP is having the supremacy with respect to the classical. So this statement is an incorrect one. So the 1, 2, 3 will be correct. So B option is the correct one. Now there is a homework for you. Like while reading the concept of the quantum computing, you should know what do you mean by the quantum computing. See the quantum computing. How is it different? How is it different from the supercomputing? Then like write down the terms superposition, entanglement, supremacy, 1 or 2 lines each for these terms. Then talking about the QNLP, quantum natural language processing, and with respect to the compare with respect to the classical natural language processing. So this is a kind of the important. In the upcoming questions, we are also going to see the terms and applications regarding the quantum computing. This is a high emerging area. Now the next question, consider the following possible applications of the zero gel. Gel, like some of you might be having applying the gel on your hair. So gel is having the jelly or the like viscous kind of the matter, in which what is so there is a kind of the hydrogel, there is a kind of the aerogel. There is a now the different concept which is in the news, that is the zero gel, like zero fights. Do you know the concept of xerophytes? Xerophytes means like those are organisms which can adapt to the extreme environment conditions. Like for example, if you see the trees of the cactus can be found in the desert region, which can thrive in the water scarce regions also. So this is called as the xerophytes. So the zero is like, in general we can say there is a significant deficiency of the water, or this is a water scarce region. So let's see the diagram regarding the zero cell, then you will be understanding the concept. Let's see the diagram. This is regarding the xerophytes or the zero gel. If you see the diagram, this is the concept of the hydrogel. Hydrogel and zero gel are totally opposite. So we are concerning about the aerogel and the zero gel. We have seen the types of the gel, that is mainly hydrogel, aerogel and zero gel. So if you see, there is a like in the chemical process where we are blending this hydrogel with the ethanol, so there is a product of the aerogel and zero gel. So the term itself suggesting this gel is a prominent with the water, and this is a having the more about the atmospheric air, and this is a kind of the zero gel. Zero gel means there is a totally absent or the deficiency of the water with respect to gel. And if you see, there is a high air or high evaporation activity, that is it is mainly the porous in region. So if you take an example of the sponge is having the porous activity, where in the zero gel we can absorb many kind of the toxic elements also. We can have the applications of the medicines also, drug delivery system also. So there are the different applications regarding the zero gel. So let's see the application of the zero gel. So before starting to this question, let's see this diagram also regarding the International Maths Olympiad. Since 2020, UPSC had focused more on the sports, awards and personality. That's why we are exploring the more concept, where for the first time India and Iran had jointly participated in the Maths Olympiad, and this is a kind of considered as the precursor for the Abel's prize or the Field prize, which are considered as the Nobel equivalent in the mathematics subject. So if you see, the UPSC had asked the question regarding the chess Olympiad. In 2021 on the Chennai, the first time in the India hosted the chess Olympiad. Then now we are seeing the grandmasters, the chess masters, R. Pragyananda, then D. Gukesh, so Vidit Gujarati. So we are seeing those personality which are coming with a flying color in the chess, the sports. So that's why now in the year 2023 also the UPSC had focused on the Major Dhyanchand Award, then Dronacharya Award also. So this concept is a very important. Now we are going to see what is the difference among the International Maths Olympiad, then what is the difference between the Fields prize and what is the and between the Abel prize. So we are going to see the questions on these topics.
What do you mean by Olympiad?
Yes.
What do you mean by Olympiad?
What do you mean by?
Is it a sport, or what kind of activities performed in that
Olympiad, like it is kind of the major, like what you can the in which there is a kind of the consultation group where the certain groups are there and the questions are asked regarding that subject, maths. There are the name itself suggests is a maths Olympiad. There will be the discussion, deliberations on the maths, where there is a primary, like there are stages where you can like participate in the state level, then national level, and the major the persons or the personalities you are representing will be having the International Olympiad Committee will be asking the representative country from the India, Iran, other countries will be asking the countries. Those who are giving the answers in a very brief amount of time, those will be the winner.
Mathematics will be basic or will be advanced?
It will be considered as a higher advanced level, because see the basic, like they are asking the event of the quadratic, double integration, triple integration, they are asking from those areas also. So it is considered from the advanced kind of the mathematics.
Mostly useful in research related activities.
Yes, yes. Now the concept of the zero gel. We have seen the concept of the hydrogel, which undergoes the transformation for the aerogel and the zero gel. So main characteristic of the zero gel is it is having the porous in nature, which are having the absorbent capacity, while we have seen the in the instances or in news in the various application of the aerogels also. So with respect to the zero gel, the drug delivery system, like if you are giving the drug for the precision medicine system, the zero gels are also used for the thermal insulation, water filtration system and catalyst in the chemical reaction. If you see the catalyst or the catalytic reaction, where to reach any at the equilibrium or the stable stage, we always need that kind of the porous in nature, because having catalyst is having the characteristic or should be having the characteristic of the porosity in nature to have or to enhance the chemical reactions for the particular system. Then water filtration system, again this porous nature would be filtering the toxic elements or the what you can say, the polluted particles from the clean or the pure particles. Then with respect to the thermal insulation, if you see the zero gel or something, air is a bad conductor of the heat and heat. So that's why this zero gel is used into the thermal insulation property also. So ultimately there will be the all four applications of the zero gel. So the all 4 points are correct. So correct option would be the all 4. Then could you pause the water?
2 minutes, please continue.
Yes. Then coming to the next question regarding we have seen the images, the International Mathematical Olympiad. So these are the factual in nature. If you see the question regarding Major Dhyanchand, then Tenzing Sherpa Award, then regarding the field medal, then regarding the Abel Prize. So they have asked the factual data in nature. So we have to focus on the factual data. Like the regarding we have to, these are the all three, field medal, Abel Prize and International Mathematical Olympiad is related to the mathematics subject. So first we should know that Abel Prize and field medal is related to the mathematics subject. So don't consider that field medal, like in this mathematics concept, don't consider field medal is related to the military or the bravery award. Then Abel Prize is considered as the Nobel equivalent in the mathematics subject. So let's understand the fact, like field medal is exclusively awarded to mathematicians under the 4th, while Abel Prize has no age limit. This is a true statement. Yes, to have the young, like to encourage the young mathematicians, the field medal is exclusively given, and those are having the strict criteria of the under age of 40, while Abel Prize has no age limit. Regarding the IMO or International Mathematics Olympiad, winners often become the future field medals or the Abel Prize laureates. Obviously, to encourage first the International Maths Olympiad, then there is a field medals and there is a Abel Prize. So those who are genius, become the genius in the international mathematics, often gets the field awards or the Abel Prize. This statement is also true one. And regarding the what is the status, current status regarding the International Mathematics Olympiad, that the India's best rank was at the 7th position, and India's first gold medal got in the 2019. So India's best performance in the 2000s were at the 7th position, and in the year the 2019 year, the breakthrough was happened that India first got the medal was in the year 2019. So that's why we have focused this news, and the name is that the Pranjal Srivastav. The Pranjal Srivastav got the gold medal or brought the gold medal for the India. So these all 4, all 3 awards are regulated by the IMU. So this is an incorrect one. If you see, like except Abel Prize, the Field Medal and IMO are regulated by the International Mathematical Union. So the 1, 2, 3 are correct one. A. Coming to the next question, just read the question. The question is regarding the topic International Big Cat Alliance or IBCA, and this is a very important because the UPSC had not asked the question regarding this. How, like why we have taken this topic? In year the 2021 UPSC had asked the question regarding the difference between the African elephant and Asiatic elephant. Now there is a one news that in the African, from the Namibia and South Africa, we have brought the African cheetah into the Kuno National Park. So this is talking about the cheetah is the one of the big cat species. Then if you see the now there is also the reintroduction of the Asia, like the relocation of the Asiatic lions to the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary from the Gir National Parks also. So the India is taking the initiative with respect to the international institutions. So that's why this concept is a very important. Let's read this first. Read this statement, then we will solve one by one statement. Then talking about the IBCA, which stands for the International Big Cat Alliance, let's start the first question, that the IBCA aims to protect, conserve only 6. See, regarding only, when there are the extreme statements, there is a possibility of those statements would be incorrect. I am talking about in general, there might be the exceptions. Like only 6 species, we shall know the exact that these are the 7 species. So this statement would be the wrong one. Then IBCA was launched in India by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Yes, this is true one. The countries with a significant population of this tiger, lion, leopard, cheetah are automatically considered for the member countries of the IBCA. Now read the statement very carefully. This is seems like a trap. See, the countries with a significant population are automatically considered. Yes, not included into the IBCA because it is a voluntary where each and individual country shall decide whether to participate or to join in this IBCA or not. So these are automatically considered. Yes, you can participate if you are having this like the significant population of the big cat species. Then you are automatically considered for the participation or the joining. But it's up to you whether you want to join or not. So this statement is a true one. Then let's talk about the fourth one. The headquarters of the IBCA is in the Nairobi, Kenya, under the aegis of United Nations Environment Program. Yes, we all know the headquarters of the United Nations Environment Program is located at the Nairobi, the African continent. Is it a true or not? Because why we are taking this news very like significantly, that the IBCA is having the headquarters in the India. So regarding IBCA, like do you know that before the IBCA, which organizations are having the international organizations are having the headquarters in India? Like this is a major third one, the international organization which is having the headquarters. If you see the United Nations, the specialized agency, except India, all the major regions or the countries are having their regional, like UNEP in the Nairobi, then United Nations Development Program in the New York, then UNESCO is having the Paris, then World Food Program or the Indian like the Food and Agriculture Organization are having the organization at the Rome, then International Labour Organization in the Geneva, then World Health Organization again Geneva, International Maritime Organization in London. So that's why India is having the United Nations regional centers. But like before 2014, India is not having the headquarters which is in the form of the international organization. That's why this is the important news. So if you see, the first one is the International Solar Alliance is having the headquarters at the Gurugram. Then the second one important, CDRI. Do you know the full form of the CDRI? CDRI stands for the Coalition Disaster Resilience Initiative, is having the headquarters at the New Delhi, and this is a major international organization which is having the headquarters in India. That's why it is a very important. So the fourth statement will be the incorrect one. So out of 4, the only 2 statements are correct. So the answer would be, correct answer would be the only 2, that is the B one. Now the next question, it is talking about the application of the ceramics. Like commission is asking the applications of the particular, suppose for example we have seen the application of the zero gel, we have seen the application of the hydrogel, aerogel, we have seen the application of the lithium or lithium ion batteries. So we have seen the, now we are going to see the application of the quantum computing also. Earlier commission used to ask the application of the supercomputing or the traditional computing. Now we have now focusing on the artificial intelligence, emerging technology and the advanced technology. The ceramics, we know the ceramics, in the form of the utensils. Now what are the diversified application of the ceramics that we are going to see? Like if you see, the correct answer is the all 4. This is just factual data. You should know what are the application of the ceramics. Have you heard, if you have went to the dentist or the orthodontist, if you want to have plant teeth or something, so there are types of the teeth, like the metal teeth or the zirconia. Zirconia is considered as the high level or the high quality teeth. So the zirconia is made from the ceramic also. So for the bone plant also, hip joints also, the ceramics is also used. Then for the dental crowns, we have seen the orthopedic implants also, the ceramics is also used. Ceramics is having the melting point higher than the 2000 degrees Celsius. Imagine the melting, what is the melting point of water? Yes, what is the melting point, and then what is the boiling point? So if you can see the melting point of the water, or suppose if you heat the ice, then it comes into the water, that is called as the melting point. So solid, the point at which, or the temperature at which the solid gets converted into the, or starts to convert into the liquid, that is called as the melting point. Imagine at the temperature of the 2000 degrees Celsius, so it is a high heat resistance, that's it is having the high applications into the areas or into the part which is having or which is concerned with the heat related activity. So it is a high heat resistance, so turbine engines and the rocket nozzles. Rocket nozzles are experiencing the major temperature. So we shall require those parts which are having the heat resistance and shall not melt at the very low temperature. So that's why the ceramic due to its brittleness or due to its having the solid in nature, these are also high impact. So it is also used in the production of the bulletproof also. So the major advantage also, they are also used into the electronic devices in the form of the semiconductors or to support the semiconductor operations also. That's why ceramics is having don't have the narrow approach with respect to this mica, ceramics or any kind of the other metals, elements. So because this is an era of the neocolonialism. Why the world is fighting with against the neo-imperialism or the neocolonialism? Because for the extract resources. Why the China is having putting the foot over the South China Sea and having the dominating attitude over the Vietnam, Indonesia and the small island country? Because of the resource, methane hydrate. Why have you seen about the USA Ukraine deal? This is regarding the mineral extraction. So this is kind of the British had also searching for the raw material or the any market for their finished product. So that's why we shall know what are the applications. In UPSC 2023, the UPSC had also asked regarding the cobalt. Which of the following country is responsible for the world's greater than 3/4 of production regarding the cobalt? And that country was the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, in the African continent. Again, there is a movie like this is a concept of the blood diamond. If you see the blood diamond, like the featuring the Morgan Freeman. So the concept movie is also talking about the fierce fighting or the violence among the different community for the ownership of the mineral. If you see the military coup or any kind of violence or ethnic clashes because of this, the ownership over this critical mineral resources. So that's why we should know the application of the different concept. Talking about the next question regarding the sponge cities. Sponge cities. Let's see the diagram on the sponge cities. Then the next question is the thermobaric weapons. So let's see the diagram on these two concepts. Yes, now we have seen the question regarding the International Big Cat Alliance. These are the 7 big cat species. If we know the lion, then tiger, cheetah, then puma, jaguar and snow leopard. Leopard, snow leopard. Out of these 7, 5 are found in India except the puma and jaguar. So except the puma and jaguar, now the cheetah got extinct in the year 1952, but due to the relocation by the government of India from the Namibia and the South Africa, cheetah now is considered as the habitant of India. So out of 7, except puma and jaguar, all 5 are found in India. So if you see the lion reintroduction program from the Gir National Park to the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary is also there. Then the recent 5th All India Tiger Census of the year 2022 is also happened. What is the population of the tiger, big cat? That is the 3682. Then regarding the cheetah, only the few individuals like in the range of the 20 or around 20 are in India. What is the snow leopard? Recently the first ever snow leopard census was conducted, and what is the population of the snow leopard? That is the 718. We should know the exact count of these big cats. Talking about the leopard like the western Maharashtra or in Maharashtra, the Sahyadri Ranges region is like fiercely facing the problem of the leopard encroachment into the manned area. So that's why we should know what is the range as compared to the snow leopards. Snow leopards are having the count of 718, whereas the leopard are having around 12,000 to 13,000 across the India. Tigers are having 3682. So apart from big cats, the Asiatic elephant census also happened, which are having the 40,000 around. I am giving the approximate range. The 40,000 population of the elephants are residing in India. Talking about, so what is the main probable area? The commission had asked the difference between the Asiatic and African elephant. Now the cheetah reintroduction program had happened. Now there might, and the Asiatic cheetah got extinct in 1952, and we have brought the African cheetah. So we should know what is the difference between the African cheetah and the Asiatic cheetah. Then what is the difference? See, if you see the diagram, this cheetah and this leopard having the black spots on the yellow skin. So what is how we can differentiate between the leopard and cheetah? We can definitely differentiate between the snow leopard and the leopard also. But what is the difference between the leopard and cheetah, and cumulatively what is the difference with respect to the jaguar? So that's why the commission, because the difference between the cheetah and leopard had asked in by the commission way before, I think year in the 2000s. So we shall have the concept over the, so I would be advancing to you, like have the research or just Google the image and observe very keenly what is the difference. I would be telling one of them. If you observe that cheetah and this leopard, if you see regarding its from the from the eyes to the nose line, there is like the demarcation of the black line. this is a clearly invisible or the absent in the leopard. So this is a kind of the major difference between the leopard and cheetah. Now like observe these two, cheetah and leopard, with respect to its the body size also, with respect to its legs also, with respect to its speed also. So this is a kind of the research required on this kind of the big cat species, and India has significantly contributed for the International Big Cat Alliance. Then what is the ceramic? If you see the ceramic we have seen the different application. It can be used for the rocket nozzles also because of the high melting point. It can be used for the high impactful like in the bulletproof jackets also, then bulletproof glasses also. It can be used in the semiconductor chips also, like their zirconia. It is used in the dental implants also. Then it is used in the hip joints also. It is used in the orthopedic operations also. So these are the diverse applications of the ceramics. Then sponge city. If you see the regarding the sponge city, just observe the diagram. Why is this news important? Why we have taken this news regarding the concept of sponge city? In the year UPSC 2023, regarding we are repeatedly facing the problem of the urban flooding. Urban flooding, that's why the urban afforestation is a very important. That's why the UPSC had asked the question regarding the Miyawaki method regarding to the which of the following. Then the Chennai, Mumbai are repeatedly experiencing the problem of the urban flooding or the flash flooding. Within a short span of time, the city is getting the flooded with a significant level, and the operation or day-to-day operations are halted. That's why the Chennai city came up with the I-flow application, and then Mumbai came up with a similar kind of the application. So this is regarding to tackle the problem of the urban flooding. And now see the concept of this diagram. Like what is the news? India is seriously considering the we are introduce the schemes regarding the smart cities program, then regarding the Hriday schemes also, regarding the Prasad schemes also. It is talking about the sustainable urban development or the habitation. So in the upcoming tier 2 or tier 3 cities, we are exploring the possibility of the sponge cities. See, now we are the metropolitan city are having the scarcity of land. So for the upcoming sustainable city development, we are seeing the concept of the sponge city, and this is a recent concept where the China had aggressively worked on this method, that is the concept of the sponge city, and this is actually recently in the year 2013. Now to see the concept, see this diagram first. So this is a kind of the urban city, and this is the area which is having exclusively reserved for the urban forest, where if we are witnessing the flash flood or the high rainfall or torrential rainfall, that area should have the provision of the dissipating or the having the proper drainage system, where all the water can be diverted into the periphery of that city. That is called as the sponge. Sponge means absorber. Where there is an excess of absorber, it is absorbed. So with respect to this city, if there is a high torrential rainfall or the torrential activity, then there shall be a provision or there shall be the drainage system activity in the form of peripheral urban forest, where the all water can having the extrovert. See, this is a city, and this is a periphery area having the urban forest or kind of the afforestation activity, where the flood activity could be easily absorbed into this kind of sponge related phenomena. So this is called as the urban city concept. See this diagram. So this is a kind of the, see, after understanding the concept, you can mention the skeleton diagram into the environment subject also. See, in the environment subject, if the question is asked regarding, like UPSC had asked the concept regarding the urban agglomeration in the mains examination, then the satellite city. What do you mean by the concept of satellite city? If you see the concept of satellite city, these again the concept is the same, and these concepts or these terms are mentioned into the census 2011. Now what do you mean by the urban agglomeration and what do you mean by the satellite city? See the concept of the satellite city. based on the concept that this is a city. This is having the traffic problem or having the congestion, very crowded area. So to congest that crowded or to reduce the urbanization problem, we are focusing on the peripheral areas or to develop the these tier 2 or tier 3 cities into the developed one to condense. This is a satellite city concept. So the problem is having the urban congestion or the urban crowding. So this is a concept of satellite city. If this same city is facing the water problem or having the flash flood problem, then this is called as the spun city, where the periphery would be having the dominance of the urban afforestation activity. So there is a different concept. What do you mean by the spun city and satellite city? If the question is asked by the UPSC regarding the spun city, then you can mention the diagram in the skeleton form. It would be having the high impactful impression on the examiner. Then, before going to our questions, this is the use of the thermobaric weapons. Again, see the concept of why we are taking the concept. We are witnessing the gruesome wars like past since 2-3 years back regarding the Israel-Hamas war and the Russia-Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine, like Israel had used the Iron Dome system, then the Russia is using the thermobaric weapons. What do you mean by the thermobaric weapons? Like we are more concerning, we should also know the concepts regarding the hydrogen bomb. What do you mean by the Tsar bomb? What is the techniques behind these kind of the system, like nuclear fission technique or nuclear fusion technique, like atomic bomb? Yes. Then see the this news frequently in the media regarding the thermobaric weapons, where the Russia is repeatedly using those kind of the weapons on the Ukraine. See, read the statements regarding the spun cities. We have seen the concept of spun cities. We are studying with respect to the spun city. Like the spun cities are urban areas designed to absorb, capture and reuse rainwater. Yes, that is true. The concept of spun cities was first introduced in the Europe during the 19th century. Is it a true or false? We have seen that. See, at that time there was no such a problem of the no prominent problem of the climate change, global warming or the urban flooding or the flash flooding. This is like the current scenario problem, and this is, to be precise, China had introduced in the year 2013. So the concept of spun cities introduced by the China. So the second statement is the incorrect one. The spun cities primarily focus on the green infrastructure such as wetlands, permeable surfaces, urban forests. This is a general one. If you understand the concept, then you are able to solve. Recently, the concept of spun cities was adopted by China to mitigate the problem of the urban flooding. Yes, that is a true one. So out of 4 statements, the 3 statements are correct. The correct answer would be the only 3, that is the answer C. Then talking about the thermobaric weapons, the next question regarding the thermobaric weapons. Like this is a kind of the concept, the peculiar or the interesting concept regarding the kinds of the weapon system. What do you mean by the thermobaric? Like by the, we shall analyze the concept. Let's understand. Thermal related to the heat activity. Baric means, do you know the pressure? What is the unit of the pressure? That is a 1 bar, 2 bar. Yes. So this bar or the baric is related to the pressure, which is used into the detonation activity. So those with the help of pressure detonating activity, the heat is generated in the 2-stage process. Whereas if we are experiencing the, like human is experiencing or having the impact of the thermobaric weapons, at the instant time the whole human body is vaporized, not burnt, vaporized. This is a high intense or high heat like activity. So this is the concept of the heat related pressure. So let's understand the first statement. Thermobaric weapons use a two-stage detonation process, then significantly more destructive in tunnels, bunkers and underground fortifications. Is it a true or not? Then primary destructive force of the thermobaric weapons is a based on the thermal heat rather than the air pressure. Then thermobaric weapons violate the Geneva Convention and are banned in the both warfare and self-defense. See, with respect to the, let's keep aside the first statement. This is a factual part. But let's understand what do you mean by the thermobaric weapon and how it works with the help of the infographic. See, this is a kind of the thermobaric weapons where the precise guided bomb system, like if you consider regarding the weapons, there are kind of the like cruise and ballistic missile. Suppose there is a predetermined target, then which kind of the weapon we are using or missile we are using, we have discussed in our previous lecture, ballistic missile. When there is a target is a moving, then we are using the cruise missile system. That's why, like, please pay attention when we are reading regarding the Agni missile system, Akash missile system, Prahar missile system, Nag missile system, then BrahMos missile system, then we should know which kind of the missile we are using. BrahMos is a medium range cruise missile system, where that's why BrahMos is a very important, because as per the having the inertial navigation system, as depending upon the target movement, that missile can be adjusted in between their journey, whereas in the ballistic system, once you fire that missile, then it is called as the fire and forget. So the predetermined target is a setup and you are fired, then it always only reach to that target. So this is the difference between the ballistic and cruise. This is a more regarding the ballistic missile, where the location is a predetermined and the immovable. So if you see, this is a kind of the tunnel or any cave or any kind of the closed system, whereas like it is releasing into the small explosion. There will be the first small explosion where there will be the first release of the fuel particles in the atmosphere, and by the detonation of pressure, that fuel particles will be acting as a fuel element for the whole region, and due to the application of the pressure, see, this is a closed space, and with the like application of the heat and pressure in the closed pressure, there will be the multifold intensity of that explosion, whereas we have seen in the our introduction that the human body in the fraction of time will be converted into the vapor, not burnt. It will not going to the ashes, will be vaporized into the atmosphere. This is a the unique feature of the thermobaric weapon. So what is the crux or what is the key summary of this concept? Thermobaric weapon, the word itself suggesting thermo plus bar. Thermo is related to heat intense activity, bar is related to the pressure. Pressure is created or the multifold into the closed activity, whereas the tunnel, cave or any closed space. Like there will be the two-stage process, whereas in the first small explosion there will be the dispersion of the fuel particles, and this fuel particle, the second, the fuel particles will be acting as a carrier for the explosion. So this is the concept of the thermobaric weapon system. Now before solving to the question, this is kind of the, now we are going to see the questions regarding the law commission. Why law commission? On this 2nd September, we have the 23rd law commission was notified, and the law commission's recommendation are very important. In the our main science writing, we are using the law commission recommendation. For example, one nation, one election. What is the view of the law commission? For example, uniform civil code. Uttarakhand became the first state in India to notify the rules regarding the uniform civil code. Then in the mains you should write the what are the recommendation, previous law commission recommendation. One nation, one election, it is like the notified or the it is sent to the joint parliamentary committee regarding the suggestion. So again, what were the law commission's recommendations? So the law commission recommendation there, is it a constitutionary body, is it a statutory body, or is it the executive body? What are the mandate are given to the law commissions? So are those mandates or those recommendations are voluntary or binding on the government of India? That you should know. So this is just news. Then regarding the question came into the Hindu, like Arctic ice, we all experiencing the in the era of the fourth mass extinction, where the loss or the degradation of environment is primarily driven by the climate change and the global warming activity. So these are clearly manifested into the polar activity, that is the melting of the Arctic sea ice. So they are regarding the melting of the Arctic sea and their related phenomena are also mentioned in the question. And regarding Arctic ice, there is a polar region, there is a kind of the Rossby waves. What do you mean by the Rossby waves? That we are going to study. Then there is a one concept in the upcoming questions we have mentioned. Do you know the Arctic amplification? There is a one concept. In general, there is a melting of the ice glacier, that is okay. But what do you mean by the Arctic amplification? Then what do you mean by the tipping point? Tipping point in previous current affairs question paper we have seen regarding the tipping points also. What do you mean by the tipping point? And we have also seen the infographic regarding the tipping point. So these are the related extreme events or unusual events or unprecedented phenomena. These are mentioned into the Arctic amplification or tipping point. Then
How many questions we are going to cover today?
yes, we are like 60 questions we are covering, spanning from the 3 months, the August, September and October.
Currently we are on 50.
Yes, 1-5. Then see the question regarding the thermobaric weapons. Thermobaric weapons, we have seen the concept. The first one is the two-stage detonation process. We have explained first stage releases fine aerosol cloud of fuel. Then second stage ignites the clouds. Yes, that is true. These weapons significantly more destructive. Yes, that is true. Primarily destructive based on the thermal heat. Yes, the thermobaric weapons violate the Geneva Conventions and are banned in the both warfare and self-defense. Yes, these are not included in the Geneva Conventions. So this is a wrong one. So out of the fourth one is eliminated. The correct option would be the 1, 2 and 3. Then with respect to the Law Commission, this is a basic question, but we have taken because on the 2nd September, the 23rd Law Commission was constituted or notified. If you see, the Law Commission of India is a constitutional body, is it so? It is a not statutory, it is established by the executive resolution. Not constitutional, not statutory. Yes, this one is the wrong one. The recommendation made are binding. Yes, binding or not? These are the voluntary. But the Law Commission's recommendations are taken seriously by the government. Then primary objective is suggest to legal reforms to bring law in conformity. DPSP. Yes, that is true. Example of the UCC, Uniform Civil Code. What is the article for the Uniform Civil Code in the DPSP? That is the article number 44. This is the correct one. The composition, tenure and functions of the Law Commission are clearly defined in the Constitution of India. See, if it is not as a constitutional body, then it would be logical that their terms, condition, tenure, salary would not be defined or mentioned in the Constitution. So, out of 4, the only one statement is a correct. So, only one is a correct one. Then question number 14. Question number 14 regarding the impact of Arctic ice on the Indian monsoon. So we have seen, this is a homework for you regarding the impact of Arctic ice. Just read the statements. Like I am telling the answer, the third one is the incorrect one. You have to find why is it an incorrect one. So do the research on the Rossby waves. Then do the research on what you mean by the Arctic amplification. Yes. 1, 2, 4 are correct. Yes. I am expecting from your side, do the homework, solve the question. If you have any doubt, then you can come to the offline center or chat in the, you can mention into the chat box also. With respect to the pyrocumulonimbus cloud and their global impact, we all know cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus cloud is having the responsible for the torrential rainfall, having at the greater height, and pyro related to the fire activity. Related to the fire, pyro. If we see the pyro, like due to the fires or due to the forest fires or major fires, there is a release of aerosols or the PM particles into the atmosphere, and these atmosphere are acting or the acting as a nucleus for the cloud formation. That's why due to the forest fire, the formation of the clouds are known as the pyrocumulonimbus cloud. And we all know the PM 2.5 particle, the fire releases the toxic pollutants, and those pollutants are responsible for pyro CB or the pyrocumulonimbus cloud. Understand, pyrocumulonimbus clouds act as a natural air purifier. Is it so? Due to the forest fire, there is a emission of the like CO2 emission, CH4 emission, other kinds of the NOx also. Are they acting as a natural purifier? This is a general statement, so this would be the incorrect one. Then clouds contribute to the short-term global cooling due to the reflection of the sunlight. Yes, we have seen one concept regarding the aerosols. Aerosols are responsible for the cooling activity also and the warming activity also. And these are acting, the particular aerosol particles are having, if you see suppose this is the earth and this is the fire activity and this is the cloud formation. For the temporary period of time, these are reflecting the sun rays into the outer space. So that's why for the temporary period they are acting as a cooling phenomena. That is a true one. Clouds when formed can intensify Earth's greenhouse effect due to the high carbon dioxide concentration in their plumes. That is true. Suppose these are the fire activity, all CO2 are trapped over this region. So they can influence the greenhouse gas activity. So in the sum up, what we can say, for the short term, though for the short term there is a cooling activity, but on the longer run they are having the global warming phenomena or the warming phenomena. So this statement is a true one. Then pyrocumulus clouds are now increasingly being observed in the polar regions due to the climate change induced fire. They are saying that if the fires are occurring at the polar region, then it would be definitely true that the pyroCB are increasingly observed in the polar region. If you see the Canada fire, then the Siberian fire in the Russia, these are occurring near to the polar region. Obviously, into the polar region, there is a climate change induced forest fire. So automatically there would be the formation of the pyroCB clouds also. So this statement is also true one. Out of 4, the only 3 are correct. Regarding the Global Biofuel Alliance, this is a very important. Global Biofuel Alliance, then Green Fuel Alliance, these are the 2 different terms. And if you see what is the interesting fact that, like before solving this question, let's understand the diagram or the infographics. See this diagram. What you are seeing? Yes. Pyro related to the fire. Then see the clouds are also represented into the like the pollutive form. So the first statement we have see, are they acting as a natural purifier or not? Obviously not. They are contributing to the pollution. Then if you see the plumes of cloud, into the lower region there would be the higher concentration of the CO2 activity, and into the higher the region or beyond the clouds there would be the reflection activity of the solar the rays. So for the short term there would be the cooling activity. For the longer term, there would be the warming activity. If you see this diagram, there are the different interpretation of this diagram. Lightning activity, then downburst rainfall, intensive rainfall. If the questions come during the fire, the rainfall occurs or not? Yes, occurs because of the pyrocumulonimbus cloud. The lightning activity happens. We might feel that okay, due to the intense fire or something, there might not be the rainfall activity or the intense rainfall. So this is, and air sucked in. Like for the burning, we all require the air or the oxygen. So surrounding air is sucked in for this intense bushfire. Because in the California, if you see the recent news, that Californian fire like had caused the havoc across the thousands of hectares, where the wooden houses are burnt to the ashes. So see this kind of the real image. NOAA, the atmospheric agency from the America. So this is a kind of the concept of the forest fire, because the Australian bushfire had also happened. Californian we have recently witnessed, Siberian wildfire, then the Canada fire. That's why the concept or the logic behind the bushfire, the forest fire, we all should know. Then see this diagram, the concept of the genetic rescue. This is a news came into the Hindu paper. See the news. Is it visible? Yes. Please do not take any burden while learning the concept or something. See, in the UPSC exam or the other kind of a competitive exam, yes, we shall give our 100%. We should not focus on that word. Like, we cannot study under the pressure. That's why, if you are like having you should have the checklist or the tick mark. Okay, I am understanding concept or not. That should be your concern, and solving as much as question paper as you want. See, this is a genetic rescue. Genetic rescue means, see the headline. Genetic rescue simplified tiger reserve to bring new females to increase genetic diversity and save the tiger population. So the word itself says rescue to the genetic rescue. Rescue or increasing the genetic diversity. This is a keyword, and we want to increase the tiger population. Means the genetic rescue is used for the increased genetic resources and to increase the biodiversity or to increase the flora and fauna of particular ecosystem. Then see this diagram. What do you mean by the genetic rescue? To the leftward, we are experiencing the phenomenon of genetic rescue. Like these are the extinct animal. Extinct means the vanished from the our Earth's biosphere. Now we are introducing to the genetic rescue. Genetic rescue means like from the extinct to the having the restoring the diversity to having the reintroduction, means to increase the population or to increase the genetic diversity. This is in general we can say. Now let's solve the question regarding the genetic rescue. First we will solve the genetic rescue. Genetic rescue refers to the process of introducing genetic diversity into small inbred population of a species to reduce the harmful effects of the inbreeding depression. If you see, this is a true or not? Genetic rescue. What do you think? Yes, to increase the genetic diversity. Then one of the major goals of to increase the heterozygosity or the genetic variability and enhancing survival and reproduction rate. Yes, that is true. Genetic rescue can be done through interbreeding closely related species, which often results in stronger hybrid, better adapted to the environment. See, inbreeding. Have you heard about the in close relation or where the consanguinary, where the close relatives, the scientific aspect are they are prohibiting the marriages among the human beings there because there might be the what we can say the diseases or the disorder, genetic disorder. That's why it is always told to have the marriage outside your blood relations. So again, interbreeding means within the close species. Like that's why they are prone, like if you see the intrabreeding or the out of the species or the genetic resources, they are having adapted to the greater environment. So this statement is the incorrect one. The regarding the fourth statement, genetic rescue is considered as a short-term solution to prevent species extinction. It does not address the root cause of habitat loss. Yes, that is true. We shall always address the root cause, that is the habitat destruction, human poaching. So this shall be the supplementary. Yes, this shall be the last resort for the biodiversity conservation. So out of 4, 3 are correct one. So only 3 are correct. Now this question, Global Biofuel Alliance. Regarding the Global Biofuel Alliance, obviously these 3 countries are the largest producer of the biofuels. Biofuels, India, US, and it is launched at the sidelines of the G20 summit during the India. See, Global Biofuel Alliance talking about the international environmental initiative, but it is launched at the financial related initiative, that is the G20 summit. Don't confuse, like it is released in the COP 28 or 29 of the UNFCCC. There might be the trap because this is related to the environmental related activity. So the first statement is the true one. Then one of the key objective of GB is to increase the adoption second generation, third generation. Do you know the second generation and third generation? Second generation talks about the agricultural residue and the third generation talks about the algal based biofuels or algae based biofuels, and this is focused into the National Biofuel Policy of 2018. We should know this question was asked regarding the generation into the UPSC exam during the COVID-19. This is happened in prelims 2020, which was postponed into the October month. Then India has set up a target of 20 by the year 2030. True or not? India has set up a target of 20 ethanol blending with a by 2030. This is a wrong one. And GBA is primarily aimed at promoting production and consumption of the green hydrogen globally. See, it is not talk about the green hydrogen, just focuses on the biofuels. So third and fourth statement are wrong. Yes, 20% ethanol blending, it is also known as E20. Yes, initially target was set up by the year 2030. Now it is got preponed by now this year 2025 E20, and now we are in the stage of completion for the achieving the target of the E20. So the third and fourth wrong. So the option A is the correct one, and there is a DTP mistake, like remove this third. So the option will be the 1 and 2 only, because third and fourth are wrong. Is it clear? Yes. Genetic rescue we have seen. Then with respect to the India's digital public infrastructure. Like, see why we are saying this is a very important one. Digitally public infrastructure. Like, let's understand the examples. What do you mean by the DPI or the digital public infrastructure? First, regarding how you use the UPI QR code, you are scanning the Paytm, PhonePe to have the successful transaction. You might have heard, like you might have used the, or you are using the DigiLocker to have the official documents. Yes, you might have used the Cowin app for the booking the slot related to the vaccine in the during the COVID-19. So these are even also Aadhaar enabled payment system, Bharat Bill payment system. These are the examples of the digital public infrastructure. Now understand, like we have seen in the last current affairs, ONDC, Open Network Digital Commerce. This is also example of the digital public infrastructure. And why is this news important? At the G20 summit, which is hosted by India in year 2023, India had proposed this digital public infrastructure. That's why, like many of the head of the state, like France, Italy, were doing the payment with the help of the UPI system. If you see, the UPI related transactions are also now, like the France became the first country in the Europe to adopt the UPI system. In the India, in its neighborhood, the Bhutan, Nepal, Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka is also using the public UPI. That is the one of the parts of the digital public infrastructure. You might have heard the Bhim app. Bhim app, like related to the similar to the Paytm and the PhonePe. Now let's understand, DPI is a set of open and interoperable platforms that is delivery of publicity. Interoperable means, like example, take an example of the Paytm or the PhonePe. If you are using the PhonePe scanner or the Google Pay scanner, yes, you can use or you can transfer the money. They are acting as a just intermediate, so interoperable. You can use for the different platform. Earlier they used to ask, okay, we need to Paytm, then you the other person shall have the Paytm to transact the money. This is the same concept to the UPI also. Then the unified UPI, Aadhaar, DigiLocker are considered part of, yes, that is true. India was first country to propose the concept of DPI, that is also true. The NPCI, National Payment Corporation, is the nodal agency. See, DPI or infrastructure is a total ecosystem, and the major parts are operated by the different nodal agencies. So NPCI, for the NPCI, RuPay card, then Bhim app, yes, NPCI is responsible. But what do you mean by the Aadhaar enabled payment system? Then the our DigiLocker, these platforms or infrastructure is having the different the nodal agency. So this is the incorrect. So out of 4, the 1, 2, 3 are correct. So A statement is the correct one. And DPI is a very important. It might come into the mains under the science, because India has launched the India Stack concept also. Let's understand what is that concept. With the help of diagram, we would be understanding what do you mean by the Indy Stack or the India Stack. See, this is a very important of the India Stack, and India Stack is also like the not exact but alternatively known as the digital public infrastructure. India Stack or the bunch of the apps which facilitates the digital transaction or digital payments. So India Stack, eKYC, instant payment, IMPS also, your Aadhaar Pay also, Aadhaar enabled payment system, Bharat QR code also, UPI also. Then India Stack is talking about how we are going to remember DPI and what are the components of the India Stack. Also DPI. D stands for this data layer, then payment layer, and then identity layer. This is a small trick. Regarding the data layer, you are saving the data in the form of the DigiLocker. Payment layer you are doing with respect to UPI, Aadhaar enabled, and what regarding the identity, Aadhaar biometric system. Then with respect to identity, there is a eKYC, e-sign. So how we are going to remember? Suppose there is a question coming into the regarding the digital public infrastructure. Digital public infrastructure, mention India Stack, mention the India Stack's DPI. This DPI stands for data layer, payment layer, and identity layer. Yes, and because if you are reading the news or you are in the current affairs, then there is also concept of the agri stack. What is the concept of agri stack? This is also part of the digital public infrastructure. The Elon Musk had also praised or had applauded the Baramati's Krishi Vikas Kendra, which are using the artificial intelligence related aspect to the increase the agricultural yield, production and productivity of the those agricultural sector. That's why this is related to the agri stack also. So these concepts are very, very important. Have you understood? All of you have understood the concept? Yes. Now see, our next question is based on the extremophiles. Why we are taking the extremophiles? Because in the environment, ecological succession is there. In the ecological succession, when there is a bare area or the uninhabited area, when there is an extreme environment, to test that extreme environment, we are using the extremophiles. Extremophiles, take an example. What do you mean by the primary ecological succession and the secondary ecological succession? In the primary ecological succession, take an example of the Mars. Mars is having the or the Venus. Venus is having the sulfur activity or the volcanic activity. Mars is considered as the extreme the environment, where there is like the solar storms are there, where is the quakes are there, Mars quakes are there. There is extreme temperatures are there, extreme methane traces are there. So we as a human have the limitation where all the extremophiles means those bacteria having the microorganisms can be sent over there to study that atmosphere. Like we are in the clinics or medical, we are doing the clinical trials on the rats, cockroaches, frogs. In the similar manner, in the harsh environments, we are using the extremophiles. And this is a breakthrough that the bacteria also we have found in the microwave oven. Microwave oven, like we all know, is having the application of the high temperature for the shorter period of time. And the scientists found the bacteria. This is also kind of the extremophiles. Extremophiles means those microbacteria or the microorganism are living in the very extreme condition. Extreme condition in the parameter of the temperature also. High temperature, very low temperature, cryogenic, or we can say in the acid also, in the alkaline also, in the high salinity also, in the high heat also. So those are also considered as the extremophiles. So let's understand the in 2020 the tardigrades. Tardigrades, if you see the image or search image on the Google, tardigrades are those animals those can thrive on the very extreme condition. So they have the Israel had sent the tardigrades to the moon also to study or the extreme temperature. That is Arctic also, Antarctic also. Then talking about the acidophiles, philes mean to be loving, acido means acid, those who are having the low pH activity. Then halophiles, halo is related to the salinity. Then thermophiles related to the heat. Barophiles, baro related to the pressure. Then alkaliphiles, alkaline activity. So we all shall know like these are the types. Extremophiles is the umbrella term, whereas the different species are under this extremophile. So this is a concept regarding the extremophiles and this is in the news. Now see the question. With reference to the extremophiles. I have explained in a bit the detailed manner. Let's read the first statement. Thermophiles are extremophiles that with a temperature above 45 degrees Celsius, that is true. Halophiles, extremely high radiation condition, no. Halophiles is related to the salinity, not the radiation. Acidophiles refer to the low pH where a highly basic condition, that is true. Let's see the pH scale. Do you know the pH scales? pH scales range from the 0 to 14, whereas the below 17, that is the low pH, are considered as the acidic, and high pH or the pH greater than 7 is considered as the basic or the alkaline. This then piezo are organ that can withstand the extreme salinity levels. Piezo or baro is with respect to the pressures, not salinity. Salinity refers to the halo. So this statement is the incorrect one. Out of 4, 2 are correct. So the correct option would be the only 2. With reference to the Hayflick limit, I would be telling the interesting concept. You have to solve the question. Hayflick limit means like there is a concept regarding interesting concept, and this question this concept, we all know the Chandrasekhar limit, then Hayflick limit, then Hubble limit. So this is a concept of the Hayflick limit. Hayflick limits we all aspire for to have the younger generation. You might have heard the news or read the news that this man lived for the 102 years, 105 years, or 110 years, 120 years. Yes, the Hayflick limit is that they are saying that like you might do anything. There is anything to live your life at a very longer level. Like I want to aspire, or anyone want to aspire to the healthy life or the young life for the 120 years, 130 years. So some of you might say that okay, I would be eating only the vegetables or the only herbs. I would not be. I would be doing the exercise on the on day-to-day basis. I would not eating any junk food. I would be. I would keep myself young. So yes, if that person determines and for the lifetime he is using that kind of the ideal condition to live longer without any diseases, but there is a Hayflick limit. Hayflick limits means whatever you can do, you cannot stretch your life beyond any particular life. Like they under the Hayflick limit they have given the range 125 years. So because of the which activity, if you see that there is the cell division, somatic cell division. So this is a concept of the somatic cell division. So if you see, I would be telling 1, 2 and 3 are correct and fourth one is the incorrect. So I am expecting the research from your side regarding the Hayflick limit, and this is a very interesting concept. So that's why the Hayflick limit, I have told what do you mean by the Hayflick limit, and I have also told you the answer. Just read the statement and search on the internet. Regarding now we are seeing the topic of microRNAs. MicroRNAs, these are determined as the miRNA. Understand why have we taken this topic? The Nobel Prize in the last year's Nobel Prize got to for the discovery or the research on the microRNA. That's why we have taken the topic regarding microRNA. We all know there is a concept of the in the science and technology discussion we have seen the messenger RNA, then the RNA interference or the silencing RNA, then we have seen the concept of the transcription, we have seen the concept of reverse transcription, we have seen the concept of translation also. Now we are seeing the microRNA or the miRNA. So what is the key takeaway? miRNA means microRNA. This is a small part of the RNA that is known as the miRNA, which is responsible for the gene expression. Like from the DNA to RNA there is a transcription, RNA there is a conversion to the protein, that is with the help of the messenger RNA, mRNA. So In this RNA, this is a small molecule of the RNA are there, that is called as the miRNA or the microRNA. So the first statement is the correct one. Then they are acting as a binding to the messenger RNA which are responsible for the conversion of the RNA to the protein synthesis. So this is yes binding to these small parts are binding to the mRNA. This is also true one. And mRNA primarily produced in the mitochondrial cell. No, this is a cell. This is a cell nucleus, and the surrounding region or the cytoplasm, there are the mitochondria. But the thing is, miRNA are produced in the nucleus, not in the mitochondria. With respect to the mitochondria, the last current affairs session we have seen the concept. What is the concept? That is the 3-parent baby. We have seen this 3-parent baby in a very detailed manner. This is considered what the statements were there. Yes, I think you have not revised the concept. You shall have the revision. What is the concept of 3-parent? Yes, tell me. Okay, the revision is due. Okay. See, the 3-parent baby, what we have seen the statements, it is a mitochondrial diseases and it is always inherited from the mother, and 3-parent baby and the genetic expressions are taken from the mother and father only, because the nucleus of the mother, egg nucleus, and the sperm nucleus of the father are involved, whereas the donor only contributes to the healthy mitochondria. Yes, that's why we shall have the overall understanding. In UPSC, we are requiring the phenomena of interrelation of the subject. Then you would be getting the idea or the overall understanding. That's why the interrelation of the concept is important. And how the interrelation will come? By revising, by like the contemplating, by the thinking of that concept. The study of miRNA has gained importance. Yes, regarding the RNA, whatever we are using at the DNA level, RNA level, drug therapy or something, they are also used at the field of the cancer. So the 1, 2, 4 are correct. Third one is wrong. So option A is the correct one. Regarding the next question, artificial neural network. What do you mean by the artificial neural network? First, before analyzing the concept, do you know the artificial intelligence? You should know artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means to have the intelligence like the human brain. That is the artificial intelligence. Then in human brain, natural, there are the neural networks. That is the dendrites are also there, nerves are also there. Yes, and the artificial neural networks. This is also the last year Nobel Prize in the ANN or the artificial neural networks was in the news. Means those nerves are mimicking like a human brain. That is called as the artificial neural network. So whatever human is doing at the network level, the same functions are done by the ANN. Then you would be able to solve the question. Like for example, artificial networks are inspired by the structure and function of the human brain. Yes, that is a simple one. Then in ANN, nodes or neurons perform mathematical operations to process information. Again, have the corollary or analogy with our human brain. Does the human brain doing the mathematical operation? Yes, we are doing the arithmetic calculation, the positive, the addition, subtraction, division. Yes, so same. Does the human brain do? Can do? Yes, if you are not learning, that is a different thing. But can the human do the mathematical operation? Yes, then ANN can also do. Then ANN requires the pre-programmed algorithms for each task and cannot perform unsupervised learning. What do you mean by the unsupervised learning? What do you mean by the machine learning? This is artificial neural networks, artificial intelligence, and in the era of machine learning. What they want to say? Like each time we had to give the instruction, command to do the particular operation. Like in human brain, our human brain learns and we are doing the unsupervised. What is the concept of the innovation and learning? Unsupervised learning. With the help of our experience, we are discovering the new things. The same ANN also do the unsupervised learning also. With the help of the past techniques, with the help of experience, they can do the unsupervised learning also. So whatever the human brain is doing at the network level or the neurons level, all the same functions are done by the artificial neural network. So the 1 and 2 only. The next question is regarding the 9-dash line. 9-dash line with respect to South China Sea, China and the neighboring countries of the Republic of China. Let's see the diagram. Yes, with respect to the this diagram, Hayflick limit we have seen, and there was a the major articles published in the newspaper and in the science journal regarding the Hayflick limit. That's why this concept is a very important. Then again, the Indian Express had also mentioned the Hayflick limit. Why immortality, amaratva, immortality remains out of human's reach because of the Hayflick limit. The question might be coming into the UPSC also, the Hayflick limit related to the which of the following. Then the DNA RNA. What do you mean by the microRNA? Ribosome, the small portion of the, these are binding to the mRNA messenger RNA which are responsible for the synthesis of protein. Then transcription DNA to RNA, RNA to protein, these are the translation. Reverse transcription means RT-PCR test, you might have heard during the COVID-19. RT-PCR means reverse transcription from the RNA to DNA. In the vaccines also you might have seen that the RNA based vaccine, DNA based vaccines. Then this is a whatever human brain is doing, this is a whatever artificial neural network ANN. So nucleus, axon, neurons, dendrites, same is with respect to the artificial neural networks. Yes, again in the newspaper, the China-Philippines clash. What is the South-China dispute, and what does the China wants to have the ambitious regarding the global power, regarding the 9-dash lines, and see the concept. See this diagram. 9-dash line is a Chinese demarcation. From the China side demarcation line, this is our territory. We are not concerning about the others' territory because they might be overlapping with the other countries' exclusive economic zone. See, this is see the diagram. The Philippines is also affected. The Philippines exclusive economic zone is also overlapped. This is the China's claim. This region is ours. This is under this 9-dash line. This is ours region. So see, the Philippines exclusive economic zone is also overlapping with the China dash line. Then again with respect to the Vietnam also, Vietnam, the Paracel Island, this Spratly Island, these are claiming, these are also claimed by the China. Then Indonesia also, see with respect to the Indonesia, the NATO Island, they are claiming. Because of the NATO Island exclusive economic zone, the China dash line are also overlapped. So this is a concept of the 9-dash line and the disputes in the South China Sea. Why the China is claiming the region in the South China Sea? Because there are the larger deposits of the methane hydrates. If these are mined or they explode these minerals, then China can meet the demand of the resources or the energy for the next 1000 to 2000 years. This is a potential of this mineral discovery. Then Nobel Prize literature. Just to see the official image of the Nobel Prize, this is the first South Korean personality to got, the name is Han Kang, to got the Nobel Prize in literature for the year 2024. And she have what was her contribution in the literature? She had transformed the human distress, pain, agony into the poetic prose. Yes, Let's understand the questions. Yes, I have deliberately kept the like the simple questions after the 30, question number 30, like 31 to till 60. The one-liner questions I have incorporated just to have the conceptual understanding. Read the question, the 9 dash line. Nine dash line affects territorial claims of multiple countries. Which of the following countries have overlapping claims with China in the South China Sea? If you have seen Vietnam, Indonesia and Philippines, yes, we have seen in the diagram. So that's why the mapping part is a very important one. India is not directly involved with respect to the South China Sea disputes. Yes, but indirectly conveys that we are with the free principle of the free navigation of the ocean. So only 3 are there. Then next question, Nobel Prize in Literature, this is a factual one, awarded for exploration historical traumas. Then first South Korean and translated into the multiple, this is a general one. So 1, 2, 3 are correct. This is the factual part. Regarding why is this news important? We are seeing the difference between the CPU and GPU. What do you mean by the central processing unit? CPU, brain of the computer, and what do you mean by the graphical processing unit? So there is a era of the GPU, which stands for the graphical processing unit. So what is the difference between the CPU and the graphical processing unit? So we shall focus. Let's read the statement. Then we are going to learn the new concept. What do you mean by the neutrino frog? Let's understand why we have taken this question. See this, the news that the center finalizes under the India AI mission. Under the India AI mission, we like the government is procuring the 1000 graphical processing units. So that's why this news is a very important to have the localize the data. There is a issue of the data localization is also there, data privacy is also there, then the cyber attacks, cyber fraud. That's why the GPU is a very important. CPU, central processing units, graphic processing units. Obviously this is based on the serial processing, one task then the other task. This is a kind of parallel processing, means multitask, one different task at a one time. So the speed will be the more one. So this is the concept regarding the CPU and the GPU. If you see the neutrino fog, concept of what do you mean by the neutrino fog? Let's coming to the questions. CPUs are optimized by serial processing, whereas GPU excel at parallel processing. Yes, that's why the speed of the GPU is more than the CPUs. This one is correct one. GPUs have higher clock speed than CPUs, making them superior for the general purpose computing. See, if you see regarding these are not made for the general purpose computing. These CPUs are made for the general purpose computing. So that's why this statement is the wrong one. Unlike CPUs, GPUs are designed with a large number of smaller cores. Yes, like with the evolution of the computer, the size of the brain, size of the memory, chip, semiconductor. If you see the 1950s computer, where for the KB or the MB, there is a CPU or occupying at the very large room. Like with the time passes, the CPU had become the smaller phone. Now the laptop one, now there is a very small chip that would be driving the most number of the computers. So this is not used for the general computing. Unlike CPUs, GPUs have designed, yes, that is true one. CPUs better suited for the task requiring complex decision making, while GPUs are more efficient in larger, yes. As compared to the CPU, yes, CPUs we have seen complex decision making they can take, but as compared to the CPU, what is the role of GPU? More efficient at the very large or the ultra large scale. That is the key takeaway. So the fourth point is an important one. So if you see the quantum computing, AI, machine learning, artificial neural network, this CPU, GPU, all are interrelated. That you should have the very good conceptual understanding over these different concepts or the topics. The next question, with reference to the neutrino fog. Why is this topic important? Can you tell where the related to the Indian Neutrino Observatory is located? In the year 2015, before the Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam passed away, before 1 or 2 months before, he had written the extensive article or the editorial on the in the Hindu newspaper regarding the what is the importance of the neutrino particles and why like India having the unexplored or this is the under potential of this neutrino particle. That's why it is very important. Indian Neutrino Observatory is located at the Tamil Nadu in the Bodhi Hills in the Theni districts. So that's why the neutrino, their particles are important. We are now using the radio waves. We are all familiar with the concept like proton, electron, neutron. Make a difference that neutrino and neutron are the total different one. Neutrons are those particles almost like having the zero charge, having the very negligible mass. Means zero charge means they are not deflected by any particle or they are not attracted or repulsed by any particle. So they can be used predominantly for the communication purpose and they can travel at the very longer distance. So because we are using the amplification AM, FM, because for the existing waves or the particles we need to amplify those signals to reach the greater distances. So if we are using the neutrino, then we can tap the potential in the communication field, and this can be used in the deep space operations. Again, what do you mean by the neutrino fog? Neutrino fog refers to the dense cloud neutrino generated at the Big Bang. What do you mean by the Big Bang and what do you mean by the event singularity? Can you tell? Yes, what do you mean by the event singularity? Event singularity means there is a point that at the one point the universe was at the one point, that is a singularity, and within a fraction of a second there was a supernova explosion or the explosion, that is the Big Bang, and out of that Big Bang the galaxies, the solar system have been created, and there is a still expansion of the universe in the form of the red shift is there. Neutrinos are subatomic particles, yes, interacted with, that is true. The phenomena of neutrino fog is often linked to the cosmic microwave background radiation. Yes, cosmic microwave background radiation, that is one true. and understanding the neutrino fog can provide. See, whatever you are doing the research at the subatomic level, be it the positron, be it the anti-electron, be it the dark matter, be it the supernova explosion, be it the pulsars, magnetrons, then all are related to the insides of the universe first instances after the Big Bang. So all 4 are correct, that is a 1, 2, 3 and 4. Talking about the next question, the diammonium phosphate. India like having the problematization of the heavy subsidy which is given for the fertilizers, and the many of the expert committees have been like Bimal Jalan committee had also talked about the rationalization of the subsidy. The government had argued that like we cannot reduce the subsidies like at the drastic level without providing any sustainable alternative measures. So the government is coming with a neem coated urea, government is coming with the liquid urea. Yes, that's why the fertilizer related aspects are very important. So diammonium phosphate, what is the first statement? Diammonium phosphate is nitrogen based fertilizer with the highest nitrogen content. Is it a true? No. Phosphate, the word is a diammonium phosphate, though amines or the nitrogen is present, but it is more focusing on the phosphorus content, phosphate. So this one is the wrong one. Then it is widely used as a fertilizer for promoting root growth. Yes, this is a general one. The primary raw material for rock phosphate and ammonia, yes, diammonium phosphate, this is a general one. In India, DAP is the most important fertilizer, yes, diammonium phosphate. So out of 4, 3 are correct, only 3 options are correct. So I have deliberately kept the statements in a very easy level and made the option slightly difficult one. That to tackle this kind of question, you should know the accuracy of the all 4 statement. Now the next question. This is regarding the classical status. This is a one interesting concept. I have asked one of the students, like, please tell me how many classical languages are there? Without any second thought, he had told there are 22 classical languages. Then I asked another question. What are the scheduled languages? How many of the scheduled languages are there? He also said that 22. Then I again asked, are the scheduled languages and classical languages are same? Then he told no. So make a difference that there is a difference between the classical languages and the scheduled languages. Scheduled languages means those languages which are kept in the 8th schedule of the Constitution of India, those are called as the scheduled languages. Like how many currently? 22 are there. In classical languages means those are given, government had given those statuses for the rejuvenation or for the promotion of that languages. Now there are till date there are 11 languages. Again, till this last year the government had the 6 languages were there. Now the recently 5 languages were added in the 6. Now there are total count of classical languages are 11 and scheduled languages are 22. How we are going to remember? 11 into 2. This is like the trivial aspect. Like half of the scheduled languages, yes, we all know scheduled languages mainly 22. Half of the scheduled languages are now the 11. And which is the first one to be accorded this, which is the first language to be accorded as a status of classical languages? Sanskrit? No. Tamil. Yes. Tamil, let's see. See, this is like fertilizers, the diammonium phosphate where the phosphate content is a more, and what is the source? The rock phosphate and the amines, and this is a diammonium phosphate is a major fertilizer which is used in the Indian agriculture. Then this was the news in the Indian Express. Earlier there was a 6 languages. Tamil was the first one, and the till the before according to the status in the last year, the Odia was the last one, and the question was asked in the UPSC 2015. Which of the following language recently got the status of the status as a classical language? Odia was the answer. Tamil, then Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and now the Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese and Bengali. The 5 languages are added. Now 6 plus 5. Now, what would be the value addition? Please read what are the criteria to grant the status of the classical languages. There are 3 to 4 criteria. There should be the old language, high should be antiquity, it should not be borrowed from the any other resources, and these languages had proved that we have the original material. There were like the places where there is a creation of the material at the 11th, 12th or 13th century. Pali we all know. During the it is a highly antique language, antiquity, having the high antiquity or having the high generated at the very early stage. See, regarding the censuses of the snow leopard. Snow leopard we have seen what is the exact population 718, and they are residing into the Himalayan region, which are in the eastern Himalaya. 2 states are there, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. In the western Himalaya, 2 union territories, 2 states, Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, then which one? Himachal Pradesh and the Uttarakhand. See the population. In the Ladakh, there is the highest population among the 718. Lowest population in the Jammu and Kashmir, adjacent UT. Yes? Means we can say that the Trans-Himalaya, Greater Himalaya, the most of the states, like the habitation of the snow leopards are the Trans-Himalaya, Himalaya. But these are the Shivalik ranges. Clearly absent in the Shivalik ranges. That's we are going to see the question. Now see the question. Now this question becomes the self-explanatory. I have given the list, and which of the following got the officially classical. Sanskrit, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Odia, Telugu got, now the Marathi recently got, so the all options are correct. All points are correct, and the option B is the correct answer. Consider the following statement regarding the atomic clocks. Why we have taken this news regarding the atomic clocks? Because in the NAVIC system, it is India's own GPS, or it is also known as the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, where we have launched the 100th mission under the name NVS-02, or the second generation satellite of the NAVIC system. Before NVS-02, in NVS-01, we have launched the first indigenous atomic clock. That's why the question regarding the atomic clock is a very, very important. Let's understand that the atomic clocks are the most accurate timekeeping. Yes, it is used in the space operation, and it is a like 1 in a millions of seconds. They are giving that fraction of second with the high precision. Then cesium-132 is the most commonly used. Yes, cesium, rubidium. Then atomic clocks works on the principle of nuclear fission. No, because we are using for the deep sea operation. So what might be the principle used for this? We are using on the principle of microwave radiation, not on the nuclear fission. So this is the incorrect one. The Indian ISRO developed indigenous clock. That's why we have taken the news. Out of 4, 3 are correct, only 3. Then coming to the next question, which of the following are considered snow leopard habitats? We all know Trans Himalaya, Eastern Himalaya, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Trans Himalaya, Ladakh, cold desert region, Ladakh plus Himachal Pradesh, not in the Shivalik hills. So what is the correct answer? 1, 2, 3 are correct. So 1, 2, 3 only. A. The concept of the assertion and reasons. Assertion, what is the assertion? Satellite spectrum is critical for achieving universal broadband connectivity, yes. And reason, satellite operating in the millimeter wave bands have unlimited bandwidth and capacity. These are the spectrum allocated to the for the particular kind of the operation. If you see like radio operation, satellite operation, DTH operation, direct to home, then millimeter wave bands have unlimited. Is it a true or not? Like in the assertion reason, if you got either of the statement is incorrect, then go for the C and D. Because A and B talking about the both statements are correct. And if you find either of the statement, then find whether assertion is incorrect or the reason is incorrect. Then don't go for the explanation, correct explanation, is it a correct explanation or not. So the reason is that have the limited bandwidth or limited spectrum into the millimeter. So R is the incorrect, C option is the correct one. Talking about this question, Noctiluca scintillis, or it is called as the sea sparkle. Let's see the image. See, we are talking into the with respect to satellite spectrum, we are talking with respect to the millimeter spectrum. So if you see this kind of the spectrum, they are using in the maritime navigation, AM also, then DTH also, microwave also. So these are having the not unlimited but limited spectrum. Talking about the satellite frequency, yes, if you see the NAVIC system, NVS 02 system, they are having the spectrum band, or it is called as the transponder. Which kind of the transponder is used in the particular satellite, and depending upon the transponder, the higher frequency range is utilized for the higher level operations, like K transponder used for the satellite, then LSC transponder are the minor operations. Then see this image. This is called as the sea sparkle. Yes, the upcoming questions are very easy. First, see the first 20 to 30 questions I have kept the very deliberate to have the conceptual understanding. The last 30 questions are relatively easy, but they are relevant as per the current affairs months topics on the upcoming examination. With reference to the Noctiluca scintillis, yes, this also known as the species of bioluminescent, having the spark related activity. Then it classified as a phytoplankton. No. Is it a phytoplankton? It is a kind of the bacteria which feeds on the phytoplankton. So this statement is the incorrect one. And regarding the large blooms of this biofuels are often associated with the coastal hypoxia, reducing the oxygen. see with respect to the condition of the hypoxia, whereas those bacteria are conditioning for the luminance, taking the oxygen from the other, which is supposed to have the reserved for the fish. So due to the hypoxia condition, there is a threat to the marine diversity, particular to the fish. So that condition is a true one. Talking about there is an increased condition, again this is a rephrasing. In the we are witnessing this phenomena into the Arabian Sea, that's where the condition of hypoxia had been linked to the deficiency of the oxygen, where is a threat to the marine diversity, and there is a problem of the disrupting the chain of the marine chain. So that's why indirectly they are contributing to the climate change also. So that's why if you see the option, the second one is the incorrect. Out of 4, 1, 3, 4 are correct. So the C is the correct one. Then talking about the multidimensional poverty index, why we have taken this news regarding the MPI, the reason is that there are the certain criteria in the multidimensional poverty index have been added with respect to the maternal health also, and with respect to the bank account with respect in the MPI. MPI as compared to the other income index, this MPI index talks about the broader aspect with respect to the health, with respect to education, and with respect to the standard of living. So the question talks about the which of the components are included under the umbrella term of standard of living with respect to these 4 points. So we have to solve, and in this paper we have asked the another concept, the conceptual or analytical understanding regarding the MPI. Let's understand, let's see the diagram regarding the MPI and what were the changes done by the government of India. So this is kind of the, if you see, the MPI is broadly categorized into or classified into the 3 aspects: health, education, and the standard of living. If you see the health, there were early 2 parameters were there: nutrition and the child mortality. Now the government had added the 3rd criteria, that is in the orange, that is maternal health. And in education, yes, years of schooling and school attendance were there. And in standard of living, already there were the 6 parameters. And now the 7th parameter was added as a bank account. Now we have given the 4 points. What is not there in the points which we have given, like it is talking about, if you see the fuel, then regarding the electricity, then sanitation, water, then housing are covered in, including the assets also are covered into the multidimensional poverty index. So now
How is bank account related to poverty?
how is bank account related to poverty? See, in the UPSC there is a concept of the financial inclusion, inclusive growth, and issues related to the issues arising out of it. There is a concept of the financial inclusion. If you see, there was a Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana which was launched in the inception of the NDA 1 government recent in 2014, where there was ensuring of the bank mitra, where the zero bank account, the zero minimum balance account was ensured, where the rural strata or the rural population was encouraged to open the bank account, where the overdraft facility has been also the given. So that's why the many of the population or the agriculture population was having the bank account, so that it is useful for the direct benefit transfer, and the amount was directly credited into their account. So see, the thing is, for the small credit, we cannot go into the larger branch or go into the city. We are requiring for the agriculture, we are requiring the small money, like 2,000, 3,000. But the availability of the credit at the right time is the important aspect for the Indian agriculture sector, and that's are required for the if you see, the World Bank has applauded in their report that due to the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, this Yojana is alone or the most of the responsible for the considering the bringing Indian population out of the poverty. And
Can
they
you say that if a person doesn't have a bank account, will he be considered as a poor?
We cannot say, like, suppose, can I say that if the rich person is not having the bank account, can you say is a poor? Bank account is a form of the financial inclusion which promotes or like the having the financial inclusion. See, we don't have the point that keeping the money under the pillow. That bank, see, Indian farmers used to have the money in form of their hand, they are keeping in their houses or something. These banks are promoted to keep their money into the bank. This ensures the economic activity and the flow of the credit into the Indian ecosystem or the economic market. Yes, we are talking about the percentage weightage. What we are like have to take the information from this concept. See, health. If we see the broader aspect, like this is a 1/3, 1/3 and 1/3. Out of this 1/3, there is a concept bifurcated into this, the nutrition child. 1/3 is half to the nutrition and half of the 1/6 is allotted in the form of 1/12 to the child and maternal. So we should also focus on those terms. What is the weightage given to this kind of the health aspect? If you see 1/3, again it is divided into the two equal 1/6, 1/6. Then in 1/3, if you see the all 7 parameters, it is divided into the 1/21. So let's understand, because if you see earlier in the before the bank account, all parameters were divided into the 1/18, 1/18. So we shall also know the now these the third parameter is each component is divided into the 1/21. Now coming to the question, now this would be become very easier one. Yes, just read. In the MPI, see, we have seen electricity, water, housing is there, access to road is not there. Like what we have seen in the MPI, first one is the health, again education, then standard of living. Consider MPI as a 1. They are divided into the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Again health is divided into the nutrition, then child health, then maternal health. Out of 1/3, this is given as a 1/6. This is and this is a 1/12 and this is a 1/12. Then education, again 2 parameters, that is given 1/6 and 1/6. Standard of living, 7 components, each parameter got 1/21, 1/21. The last one is added as a bank account. And what are the 6 one? The floor, the asset, then water, then electricity, yes, then housing. So this 1, 2, 3 are correct one. Only 3 are correct. Again, the same question on the MPI. What is the concept? MPI captures broader concept of poverty than income-based poverty. Income-based poverty means, like suppose if the particular person is beyond certain limit, then what about other? Like suppose if particular person is a rich millionaire, but he is not having the health. What is the concept of the poverty index? This multidimensional poverty is talking about the health aspect also. Income-based poverty is talking only about the money or the any kind of the threshold, but MPI talks about the health, education, your intellectual capacity, your other kinds of the standard of livings also. Obviously, It includes the health, education. Yes, both statements are correct. Now we have to see, is it a correct explanation or not? It makes sense, because if you ask the why question to the A, then automatically it becomes the answer in the reason. So option is A. Both assertion reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. Yes, that is the correct one. Now coming to this question, El Nino and La Nina. We all know general concept. El Nino brings the drought into the India. La Nina, we can say the below average monsoon. La Nina, above average monsoon. This is a key takeaway of this El Nino. And this sudden oscillation in the Pacific Ocean is called as the INSO, El Nino sudden oscillation. Now, El Nino generally leads to warmer than normal temperatures in India. Then La Nina generally leads to drought-like condition. La Nina above average monsoon. Both phenomena are part of the INSO. Yes. El Nino increases monsoon, increases or decreases? Decreases. Yes. And El Nino generally leads to the warmer than, that is a true. This is incorrect. This is a correct one, and this is a incorrect. Out of 4, 2 are correct. Only 2 is the correct answer. So El Nino, La Nina. Yes. Consider the following report. This is a factual part. Answer is only 2. The World Economic Outlook is given by not World Bank, IMF, gender gap, then global risk, again, and global hunger. So this and this is incorrect. Second and fourth, only 2. This is the correct answer. Regarding the 6G technology, again 6G technology, we have seen the Bharat 6G Alliance, 6G technology, computing technology. The answer for this 6G technology, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, all are correct. Now we should have the just value addition, it is, and the terahertz, heavily rely on the quantum. Obviously 6G technology, 5G technology, the upcoming 6G technology is eyeing for the industrial revolution 4.0, that is the quantum computing, AI powered networks, artificial neural networks, the unmanned aerial, the vehicles, drones, due to the high data speed, all are correct. This is a self-explanatory. Now we have reached to that statement that we should tackle with this kind of the statement. So in the question number 37, all are correct one. Again, I deliberately kept the 2 questions on the quantum computing. The first one talks about the concepts, qubits, then quantum entanglement, quantum supremacy, and quantum computing. With respect to quantum computing, like first 3 are correct. We have repeatedly discussed what do you mean by entanglement, what do you mean by supremacy, and quantum computing is solely based on photonic technology. This is incorrect, not solely based on. See, the quantum computing technology depends on the very different phenomena, such as semiconductors, such as superconductors, such as the ion traps, topological qubits. Yes, so 1, 2, 3 are correct one. Then the next question is focused on the application of the quantum computing. Application of the quantum computing. The cryptography, drug discovery, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. Let's understand the concept one by one. quantum computers can break the traditional encryption like the RSA encryption by the Shor's algorithm. Yes, whatever can be done in the traditional computing system or the superconducting system, obviously those tasks can be outperformed by the quantum computing. Ask the question, does the cryptography is done by the supercomputer? Yes, then cryptography is also done. Drug discovery is done with the help of supercomputing? Yes, then quantum computing easily can done. Then artificial intelligence 5G, supercomputing, general computing, yes. Now the question comes with respect to the quantum computers can strengthen blockchain security. Talking about the security and encryption stronger. The quantum computing is having those kind of, it is morely concerned with the decoding or decoding the decreases in encryption, decoding the problem, solving the problem. That's why this statement can break the encryption used in the blockchain technology. Again, this is a very, very important pointer. That's why the fourth statement is a wrong one. This is a wrong one. So 1, 2, 3 are correct. Option A is the correct one. Like again, with respect to the climate change, we have seen the Rossby waves, Arctic amplification. Now I have given the term. With respect to climate change, Arctic amplification, carbon bombs, tipping point. Tipping point we have seen in our the first lecture of the current affairs. Then albedo effect. Albedo effect is concerned with the reflection, not absorption. They are talking about the dark surface also. So fourth one would be the incorrect one. These are gone. 1, 3 are correct, 1, 3 are correct. Arctic amplification, tipping points are correct. Read those statements. Online students are requested, pause your video, read those statements. Carbon bomb, this is a recent term. This is also true one. What do you mean by the carbon bomb projects? Or what do you mean by the carbon bomb? Don't confuse with the carbon sequestration. Don't confuse with the carbon sink. This is all regarding the carbon bombs. So the 1, 2, 3 are correct. These are the just definitions. Read and have the conceptual understanding. We have seen the with respect to the qubits, quantum supremacy, quantum superposition, quantum entanglement. Now the with respect to the climate change, Arctic amplification, then tipping point, then carbon bomb, and we already know the albedo effect. We have solved the various questions regarding the aerosols, regarding the forest fire, injecting the aerosols, the pyrocumulonimbus clouds. Yes, before coming to the next question, let's see the diagram with respect to the India-China boundary. There is a always persistent issue in the India and China. See, like let's recap what we have done in past 3 to 4 questions. This is a kind of the El Nino effect. El Nino, what we have seen in India, there is a below average monsoon, and La Nina, there is a above average monsoon. Then this is a 6G technology. What are the applications of the 6G technology? Like the automated vehicles, this is a emerging underwater communication, then deep sea communication, then unmanned aerial vehicles, towers. Like these are the related the applications of the 6G technology. Then with respect to see this with respect to the India-China aspect. Just observe this map. Whatever we are taking, those concepts, those terms are very, very important. Like before reading any kind of the current affairs material, just have the holdover, solve for the 2 to 3 times. Many important topics we have given. Just have the one resources, revise multiple times. And whatever you are getting from the solving the mock papers, you can do the validation in your notes. Solve the questions paper as much as you can. See the diagram. With respect to the India-China border disputes, these can be classified into the western region, middle region and the eastern region. The western region is demarcated as the McDonald line, whereas the eastern region is the McMahon line. The central sector or the middle region is quite undisputed as compared to the western region like Pangong Tso Lake, Galwan Valley clashes. Then eastern sector is also, because in between China releases the list of the those villages which are in the Arunachal Pradesh, but China is claiming those are our villages. So this is demarcated at the McMahon line, but China rejects this line. Same goes with the McDonald line also. So these were done during the British India with the China. Now, before going to the questions, there is the BRICS Plus expansion, and after the BRICS Plus, the first summit was happened in the Russia, that is Kazan, Kazan, Kazan in the Russia. So let's see the question on this. Question: McDonald line was proposed by British India 1899, yes, and between the India and Tibet, that is a true one. The McMahon line was drawn Simla Convention between British India and Tibet, but China refused to recognize. This is also true one. So we have learned the news about the McDonald line and McMahon line, and what is the common. It was like this line was drawn before the independence. Then McDonald line and McMahon line are related to the eastern sector of the India-China. Eastern sector with respect to the McMahon line. The western sector talks about the McDonald. So this statement is incorrect. The Simla Convention formalized the McMahon line. This is just the rephrasing of this statement. So the 1, 2, 4 will be the correct one, B. Again, with respect to the India-China disputes, which of the passes connects to the India and China? Rohtang Pass. Have you heard about the Atal Tunnel? Atal Tunnel connects Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh, not India and China. So the 3 would be eliminated. Now I am applying the elimination technique over here. Now eliminate 3, 1, Atal Tunnel, Rohtang Pass, 3 gone, 3 gone, 3 gone. We are only remained with the 1, 2, 4, 5. So the Mana Pass, Chang Pass, Bomdi Pass and Shipkila Pass are the passes which connects to the 2 countries, that is India and China. Talking about the BRICS Plus, we have seen the BRICS Plus news that the Iran and Saudi Arabia, yes, are part of the BRICS. The inclusion of Egypt, yes. Inclusion of Ethiopia, yes. In addition of UAE and Saudi Arabia. In this statement, I have given the importance. What would be the importance? For example, inclusion of Egypt means there is a control over the Suez Canal. Inclusion of Iran, Saudi Arabia means like they are having the opportunity to tap the energy resources of those regions. UAE and Saudi Arabia, again global energy supply. Then Ethiopia, as it is a headquarters of African Union. So subtly we have learned that the BRICS Plus expansion, we have given the opportunity to participate in our BRICS bloc, and what are the significance of the participating those countries. So the all statements are correct, that is the 1, 2 and 3. The next question, that is the question number 44, Abhed. I have given the option. What do you mean by the Abhed? Let's keep it for standby. Then with respect to the C10 and L69 group, what do you mean by the C10 L69? What is the importance with respect to the India? In international relations, there is in the syllabus bilateral regional agreements groupings which are affecting on India's interests. See, Abhed C9L69, then Philadelphia corridor. Let's see in our infographics. Abhed are, see, these are the bulletproof jackets, and this Abhed, if you see in the diagram, the Abhed stands for the armor built high endurance defense. Armor built high endurance defense, and see this diagram. So this is a one-liner question. The Abhed stands for the lightweight bulletproof jackets, and this is a L69 and C10. This is our Minister of External Affairs, and the happened in the September 2024. What do you mean by the C10 and what do you mean by the L69? These are the groupings. See the diagram of the Philadelphia corridor also. Philadelphia corridor is located on transition between the Israel and the Egypt and the Gaza Strip. This is the Gaza Strip. So we can say the Gaza Strip bordering Egypt or Israel and Egypt. Now let's see the questions. Question number this. Abhed, recently seen in the news, refers to the bulletproof helmet, advanced drone surveillance system, or the artificial intelligence. We have seen lightweight bulletproof jacket. Answer is a B. Talking about the C10 and L69, C10 stands for Committee of 10, and Committee of 10 is a 10 African country which are advocating for the United Nations Security Council. That's why this C10 grouping is very important. How India is focusing in the form of the G4. Yes, G4 country, and G4 country is opposed by which club? That is the coffee club. Now do the research. Which of the countries are in the G4 club apart from India, and which are countries opposing to the India in the form of the coffee club? Yes, this statement is correct. L69 group is a developing countries from Africa, island state, UNSC reform. That is also correct. This is also the global south. The first question, global south. Yes, the global south, they are also demanding the reforms in the United Nations Security Council. We have seen which line dividing the two regions, global north and global south. Yes, that is Brandt line. India is a not member of the L69 group, but actually support. India is a member. Yes, that's why we have kept the news. And this is a joint first ever joint ministerial meeting which is participated by the external affairs minister. That is true. So out of this 1, 2, 4 are correct. So 1, 2, 4 only C. Then with respect to the Philadelphia corridor we have seen it is a narrow strip located border of Israel and Egypt. True. The corridor was established under the Oslo Accords to reduce the arms smuggling in Gaza. Yes. No. This was not like the established under this Oslo Accord. Then Rafah border crossing is a major entry point. Yes, Rafah border. All eyes are in the Rafah. Have you seen there was a one spread viral note? There was a one all eyes on the Rafah. The corridor has been point of connection between the Israel and Hamas due to the Al incident. That is also true. So the 1, 3, 4 are correct one. Coming to the next question, now the upcoming questions are easier one. Coming to the next question, the B business ready index is a release by business ready index. See, earlier World Bank used to release ease of doing business. Now this index was discontinued and it is replaced by the business ready index or the B ready index. So the option or the correct answer that the B ready index is released by the World Bank. Recently, the first batch of the Indian pilgrims viewed Mountain Kailash, abode of Lord Shiva, from the old Lipulak Pass situated in which step? So Mount Kailash, like the in the Indian art and culture, which pass, Lipulek Pass, is connected from which states? That is the Uttarakhand. Now coming to the next question, that is the MACE Observatory. MACE Observatory stands for Major Atmospheric Chernikov Experiment, which talks about the gamma rays. And I have kept two questions on this one is the gamma rays and this is a MACE Observatory. To observe the gamma rays and what is the importance of the gamma rays, there is a MACE Observatory. So two questions I have kept to understand the importance of the gamma rays. We have seen the neutrino, that is the concept of the neutrino fog, Indian Neutrino Observatory INO, and what is the importance of the neutrino particles, subatomic particles. Let's see the diagram. See, this is the B-ready index. It talks about the major themes of the digital adoption, the sustainable development and the gender equality. Then regarding the Mount Kailash, see the pass, old Lipulek Pass, see the diagram. We are entering into this to reach Mount Kailash. Then see, this is a MACE Observatory. MACE telescope located in the Ladakh. Ladakh, it is at the highest platform, and this MACE Observatory is a like having the minimum disturbance of the light pollution so that they can observe the galaxy or the universe with a clear or the transparent vision, and this observatory is made for the exploration of the gamma rays. Yes. Now let's see the question. The first primarily designed to study high energy gamma rays, that is true. The MACE telescope is the world's second highest. We have seen the highest, not second highest. So wrong one. Is operated by the Indian Institute of Astrophysics? No, it is observed by the BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Wrong. Hanle Ladakh was chosen. It is high altitude and minimal light pollution. That is true. Out of 4, 2 are correct. So option is only 2. So this is a DTP mistake. Correct it to the option B. That is only 2 statements are correct. Talking about the gamma rays, have you heard about gamma rays? In the electromagnetic spectrum, the first one is the gamma rays, then X-rays, then ultraviolet rays, then visible, that is violet, indigo, blue, orange, red, then infrared, then microwave, and then radio waves. So from left to right, higher frequency to the lower frequency. From left to right, lower wavelength to the higher wavelength. And this higher wavelength is see, radio waves is having the higher wavelength. Higher wavelength means the higher the longer distance messaging carrying capacity. That's why we are using the radio waves in the radar, communication system, Wi-Fi system, yes, mobile communication system. Gamma rays is having the higher energy, higher frequency. Higher frequency means higher energy, higher penetrating power. See, energy is proportional, directly proportional to the frequency. Higher the frequency, higher will be the energy. So gamma rays is having the higher energy. So let's understand the next question. Gamma rays is having the highest frequency and shortest wavelength, that is true. Highest frequency means frequency is inversely proportional to the wavelength. Highest frequency means the shortest wavelength. Gamma rays are always produced in the nuclear reaction, cannot be naturally produced. See, it is produced in the nuclear reactions, that is true, but it is also produced into the naturally in the space. Yes, that is the supernova phenomena, black hole merging, the gamma rays. That's why we have put up that mass observatory to observe the naturally emitting gamma rays from the universe under the different phenomena. So this is incorrect. Gamma rays burst are mainly detected from the sun due to the nuclear fusion reaction. If you see, it is originated from the bursts are observed from the deep space, not from the sun. If we are like, see, if we see that if we are like using the sun or the sun as a originator, then we would not have implanted that the mass observatory towards the space or the deep space. So this is the incorrect one. Gamma rays have capacity to ionize gases and can penetrate through the several meters of dense lead. Yes, that is true. Highest the frequency, high value will be the energy, highest will be the penetrating power. So the fourth statement is the correct one. Out of 4, the 2 are correct, only 2. Then coming to the next question, that is the concept of money mule. Money mule is the concept which is repetitively in the news. Money mule, like for example, I will be telling concept. There is a concept of money laundering, black money. Now, the person who is doing the black money or who is doing the money laundering is giving the sum of the money to the person. That person might be knowing or not knowing. This is a concept who is acting as a carrier of that black money or the money laundering. It is called as the money mule. Mule is like a donkey, like having the carrier. It has having no that intellectual. So that person might be knowing or the knowing that this money is a black money or the laundered money. Like if you have seen one of the recent instances where the money laundered was given to the press, the person who is doing the laundry or something, like 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs used to keep over there to that money, but that person was unaware that this is a money laundered or this is a something black money. So police actually raided that place. He got the red handed. He was also like considered as the money mule. So let's understand the concept that in money mule is a person who transfer illegally acquired money on behalf of the direction of the another person. Yes. In most cases, money mules are fully aware of the illegal nature. If you see that regarding the most cases, not fully aware. Yes, they are most of the cases they are unaware that this is a black money or the money mule. Then money mules are often recruited to social media, job advertisement. Like you might have seen, like earn 10,000 per day or 500 per day. Like work from home, you will be earning. This is like kind of the advertisement. And obviously it is concerning with the money laundering aspect, ED will come into the picture. So out of 4, the only 3 are correct one. Yes. Then which of the following is a key feature of the E-Court's mission mode? E-Court's mission mode project is the ambitious project of the Supreme Court. During the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Dhananjay Chandrachud had like given the impetus to this kind of the E-Court's mission project, where the now you might seen on the YouTube regarding the online hearing of the Supreme Court's proceedings. So they are talking about the e-filing of cases, online case management, judgment search portal, virtual court hearing also. So all the points are correct. Option is a 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is a general one. Then with respect to the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau WCCB, this is this is Wildlife Protection Act 1972 established by this act. And what is the mandate given? CITES and CMS, Bonn Convention and Washington Convention. Then Wildlife Protection Act, obviously 1, 2, 3 are bearing. But regarding United Nations, this national body is having the jurisdiction over this international body? No. Yes, CITES and CMS is related to the regulation of the trade or the illegal monitoring of the trafficking of the wild flora and fauna. So obviously 1, 2, 3 are there. So out of 4 only 3 are correct one. Talking about this is you might have seen the news or heard the news that in the Sahara Desert there is a Sahara Desert, like the drought deficit area, drought prone area or rain deficit area, where we have seen due to the shifting of the northward shifting of the ITCZ, we are witnessing the torrential rainfall into the Sahara deserts also. And this is kind of what are the reasons. So now the homework for you, I would be telling 1, 2, 3 all are correct one. Just relate to what we have discussed in the current affairs part 1 lecture and this one. Then coming to the next question, what do you mean by the Schengen area? Schengen area, what is the concept of the Schengen area? Schengen area means, see, the thing is that is the area free movement of people across the internal borders without passport control. In the European Union, different countries are there. If you want to have the movement from the one country to the another, you are requiring the passport and the visa. Then that is the Schengen area where the free movement of people without the passport, that is a true one. Then every country that is a part of European Union is automatically part of the Schengen area. Is it a true? Yes? No. Because see the concept, like Cyprus, Ireland are those countries, those are part of the European Union, but they are not part of the Schengen area. Means if you visit this country, you are required the passport. Countries like Norway, Switzerland are part of Schengen area, then that not are part. Yes, that is also true. The Schengen agreement was initially signed in the Luxembourg, and in the Luxembourg there is a one place, the name is of the place is Schengen. That's why the Schengen area means free movement of the people across the country without the requirement of the passport. So the option out of 4, the 3 are correct. Option is the only 3. The next question, which of the international organization is responsible for the protecting intellectual property rights? In the GS3 paper, science and technology, awareness in the field of IT, computer, biotechnology, space and the intellectual property rights. So this is a straight question. That is what is the answer? WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. Then question number 57 talks about the SPEDEX. SPEDEX, like recently in January month, SPEDEX was announced in the September, October. In the recent months, we have successfully launched the SPEDEX. What do you mean by the SPEDEX? See, the thing is, SPEDEX means the docking of two spacecrafts in the orbit. Docking means, suppose this is a spacecraft and this is a spacecraft, and now you want to join this spacecraft in the orbit. Earlier what we used to do, there is a one total satellite docking at the ground station and launching into the orbit. But now the two different satellites, they are docking at the orbit. So this is the correct one, developed by the ISRO. Yes, is crucial for the refueling, repairing and assembling. Suppose this is having the satellite doing the important things in the orbit, and this is now we have to do the repairing mechanism or the refueling mechanism, mid-air refueling or the mid-orbit refueling. That's why the second satellite comes into the picture. This technology used for the future establishment of the Indian space station. This is a general one. So all four are correct. Then, do you know the concept of hidden hunger? Hidden hunger. Hidden hunger, like that is a very interesting concept. Just read the question. Hidden hunger is that concept. For example, if you see the healthy person or the obese person, and he or she might become the unhealthy or not feeling very well in the intermittent time because of the hidden hunger, because certain like minerals, trace minerals, vitamins are so crucial for the maintaining the enzymes, the secretion of the enzymes, hormones in the body. That's why iron, vitamin A, zinc and iodine. See, deficiency of the iron leads to the what? Anemia. Then vitamin A deficiency. Yes. Then zinc also. Then iodine also, goiter. So that's why the all our nutrients are respect to the deficiency of these nutrients, vitamin, minerals are responsible for the concept of hidden hunger. Then with respect to the nanoplastic, bioaccumulation, disruption of food chain, antibiotic resistance and increased carbon sequestration. Nanoplastic is a negative term. So can we say that increased carbon sequestration? Afforestation activity increases the carbon sequestration. So this would be the incorrect one. Obviously bioaccumulation, biomagnification, disruption, antibiotic resistance or microbial resistance, these are the familiar phenomena. So out of 4, the 1 to 4 points are correct one. Now the missing middle. This is the last question of our today's test paper, that is a part 2. Missing middle. What do you mean by the missing middle in the context of Indian manufacturing sector? Again, absence of mid-sized firm, lack of middle income population, then middle level management inefficiency, lack of technology innovation in the mid-sized firm. So see, you can guess, but this kind of the questions require the proper studying. The correct answer is the absence of mid-sized firm. See, this is a small firm, this is a large firms, and this is absence where these large firms are dominating in the Indian economic market, where small size are where in the informal or the unorganized sector, they are not growing into the mid size where they might be eventually converted into last mile. So these are dominating the market, that is which are responsible for the concept of the predatory pricing. Same, there is a one concept, agriculture, manufacturing and the services, where the manufacturing is the missing or contributing very less as compared to the services sector, because we have directly transferred from the agriculture to the services without having properly developed manufacturing sector. This is called as the deficiency or inefficiency in the occupational structure or occupational structure imbalance. Yes. Now let's conclude with the infographics. This is the concept of the money mule. This is the European Union Schengen area. This is a space dock concept. This is a nanoplastic. And this is a news regarding the missing middle. Just pause the diagram, just for your references I have added the just. Yes. Okay. Let's conclude this session. Have a good day. See you at the next session. Thank you.